You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
Have you ever seen stuff happen?
What?
Have you ever seen stuff happen, dude?
You ever seen stuff happen?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to see it because we make it, dude.
Make it happen?
Stuff happen.
Damn.
Like happen?
That's kind of inspiring.
Crunch?
Yeah, that's starting
Or
off with some
America.
inspiration right now. Yeah.
Inspirational.
That
Cause
blood-
baby, you've
Oh, no.
got what I need. No, it's okay. We don't
Yeah,
have to
no,
do it.
we're not gonna do that.
Yeah. True story. Josh forgot to press record, so we did that the first time around.
That
We
sounds like a
decided-
fake
We
story.
did.
So if you're
Fake
mad,
news.
In factness.
if you're mad, you
Didn't
missed
happen?
out on that beautiful trip
Okay.
Try.
Tripe. Okay, we're here. We've-
I didn't say tripe. I think it's a fish, dude.
What did you say?
Tri-tet.
That's better. I really like that, actually.
I like that.
Yeah, if you wanted to hear that beautiful,
Tri-tet is the word you used.
Yeah.
you won't now because it's all Josh's fault. So just blame him for it.
It's gone.
Cause
the ether of the
baby,
internet.
you sing it with me, everybody. Got what
Yeah,
I
yeah, dude.
need.
Two people can sing with Daniel
it
right
away.
now, and that'll be a tri-tet.
Say,
Yeah.
you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you've got
We're
what
going
I
with like
need.
duet, but like triple.
You say he's
Yeah.
just a,
Yep.
it's a quartet.
It's a
There's
triple
duet. So then what's it?
What is it? It's a triplet.
Trium.
Triptet.
Just triplet. Why would you say triplet?
Triple X?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, baby.
Or Ice Cube.
Yeah, or Ice Cube. What's weird? You know what? They were really like, well, we can't get Vin Diesel back for Triple X 2. Like, but who is also
Ice Cube?
equally as cool? They're like, Ice Cube?
State of the Union.
No, I like how Vin Diesel had some really good action movies, and he's like, let's
He
just
did.
settle on Fast and Furious and
Yeah,
milk it.
why
It's
did
kinda
you settle on
crazy,
that
though.
one?
I mean, it's weird that we're talking about movies again, but like, it's kind of crazy that it got to that point to where Vin Diesel is pretty much only known now for his role in the Fast and
Chronicles of
Furious.
Riddick was crazy.
That's what I was gonna
That
say.
was
The
my
Chronicles
favorite.
of Riddick is one of like I feel like that role at that time was like nobody else could have done that better type shit.
Riddick,
Like he was almost
Pitch
born for
Black.
that role,
Okay.
and now he's just diminished to the Family Guy.
Yeah, what is that? It is weird because honestly, he really was way better. Like Riddick is him. Like,
Right.
He is Riddick for sure.
And even the Triple X shit was like
Great.
good. He was really good in that stuff. So it's like in the first couple Fast and the Furious that he was in, it's like, all right, I can see where you guys are going with that. It's almost like you're using the tropes that he succeeded with in other movies and like making it work here. But this became such a franchise that it almost like drowned out all those other movies.
Yeah, I don't like those movies.
It's like they did the Tokyo Drift and they should have stopped, but they were like, let's keep it, bro. Let's keep going, dude. Let's just
It was
never.
for me
stop.
whenever
I
they
did like
con-
Tokyo Drift. That
Whenever
was a
they
good movie.
continued
Yeah, it was a
after
good
Paul
one.
Walker died, I was like, this is hilarious. Like, you guys have too much money to lose or something because this is ridiculous. Like,
You think it's hilarious that Paul Walker died?
no.
Paul Walker did like.
I said
those
after they
children.
continued once he died.
What?
He was dating like a younger girl. I think she was like 16 or something.
Why are you
I still
slandering
like
a dead
Leonardo
man? That's
DiCaprio,
crazy.
bro.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't know.
No,
He's a good
Leonardo
actor.
likes him 20 to 25.
Oh, you mean she was?
Yeah.
I would say Leonardo just likes him under 25. I don't know if there's like a
Yeah.
big like a limit
Yeah,
on
he cuts
the
off at
minimum
25.
age
That's usually
there.
where he's like, sorry. And, you know, he's like, but you saw this coming, right?
This is, but You're
It's happened
smarter
so
than
many
this.
times now.
You're smarter than this.
No, I did. I thought Riddick was really good, but whenever you guys remember it was Pitch Black, right? It was Riddick, Pitch Black, and then Chronicles of Riddick,
Right.
and then years ago they came out with the third one, which was just Riddick,
Right.
I believe, right?
Yeah.
That had the exact same storyline as the first movie.
Yeah. It was like a
Nobody was upset about that.
It's like a
I
remake,
feel like, except
almost.
me. Like I was
Yeah.
just kind of looking around, like, we're just gonna do this now.
Or just
It's
like
is this really? We're cool with this?
refurbishing the same movie type shit.
It's like, okay, but they don't fly anymore. Now they crawl on the ground and it's raining. It was raining at the end of the first movie. It's like, no, it's raining the whole time now. Rain Planet.
Rain Planet.
It's the raining planet.
But it's the same thing. It's like these, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just kind of irritated me because I was like, really? Like, have y'all played the Riddick games? Like, did you guys play?
Yeah.
Okay, really good.
They
And
are.
whole stories going on there. Couldn't do something with that.
Yes, I feel you, but like I do think that like it became a situation where they were like, we got to sell toys. So like we don't have to try that hard on this movie. We could just sell toys.
Paul Walker was dating.
Okay.
Wow.
He was 33.
You needed that. You were like
33 dating a
to interrupt
16-year-old.
this conversation
gonna
with
say
breaking news.
I wanted to know that.
Breaking
That's good to know because like Paul Walker was probably my favorite actor before you told me that.
Damn, like period, like of
No,
all the
you
actors.
lied.
No, that
Who
is
would-
just absolute sarcasm.
Who
if you
wouldn't
couldn't
say
hear
that?
I was like, what?
Who was like Paul
Well,
Walker?
no, dude, he was in.
Say cuz.
He was in Fast and Furious.
Was it? Don't worry
He
about
was
it,
in,
cuz.
Well, what else was
Fast
he
and
in?
Furious 2. He was in. No, he wasn't in Tokyo Drift.
Nah, he's
He was
in
Fast
4,
and Furious 4.
5, 6, 7, and then no, he wasn't in
He was
7.
in so many.
No, but my
Great
thing was is like so the only reason I
roles.
said that is because at the end of the seventh one, I think he was in seven. Was 7 the last one he was
I was
in? Or
like,
was
his
it
dad's
6?
tarnished a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But at the end of the last one he was in type shit, they had that whole scene where like they split off and like Vin Diesel went this way and Paul Walker went this way, and it was like the Charlie Puth song playing and everything. It was like this beautiful moment of like, oh my god, what a conclusion to this series. But then they come back and they're like, no, Hobbs and Shaw, we gotta continue this shit. The Rock is here, Jason Statham's here, let's go, baby.
Honestly, once The Rock's in there, it's over for the franchise. It's like,
Yeah.
it's over. Once you see The Rock, you're like, oh, this movie sucks. Now, like Jumanji. Oh yeah, I don't want to go watch that. That's gonna.
I don't know. I heard that it was pretty good.
Have
The
you seen the
Jumanji
original?
movie? Yeah, of course. I love
Said,
that.
have you seen the original?
Love that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Robin Williams, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, if you take it at face value and not,
I don't.
if
I
you
don't assume
renamed
they're
it
gonna
to
be-
something that wasn't Jumanji,
Yeah, that's true. They didn't actually have to use the Jumanji trope. They really didn't have to do that. They could have done the same movie and called it something else.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's Jumanji. So it's you're like, oh, I heard it was really good. Yeah. If you don't know what Jumanji is,
I don't know.
Was there cameos in the new one?
Probably.
Like, do they relate? Like, how do they relate to the
Well,
old one at all?
there
So
is a
it's just
moment.
basically the only relation is that it's Jumanji but video game instead of board game.
But do they pull anything from the?
The only
original
thing
movie
is,
into
there's a
the-
guy. There's a moment where there's a character, and he's like in this hut area, and then it says like Alan, whatever, you know, which
He was in the
original guy,
Yeah.
right.
she's like him way back when the past.
Okay.
But that's only like a minor one. What I'm saying is that like it's more of a remake of the trope, but in today's modern society of like nobody plays board games that much anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
more so a video game. And
Was
like
it good? Sorry.
I would say
It's
it
okay.
wasn't bad. It was more so definitely on that safe side of like well, we get some like heavy hitter actors in here and we don't have to try that hard on the script. But it definitely wasn't like a horrible movie. Like to
No.
say that like because The Rock is in it means it's gonna be bad. It's like that's mostly true on a lot of different things. But I would say Jumanji's probably one of the things that doesn't apply to that.
I thought his acting was
was
bad.
Black Adam pretty good?
It got shit on heavily
I didn't
shit
see it,
on.
but
I remember
I
hearing
liked
good
it.
things about it.
I liked it, but I like all the superhero movies, so it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
Well, I got really tired of the superhero movies for a while, and then they came out with Shazam, and I was like, "This is pretty funny, actually."
Yeah, I
Like,
like
it
the
was pretty
Shazam
funny.
series.
So then I thought Black Adam, and I was like, "Yeah, but you can't really make Black Adam very funny. Like it's pretty dark, you know."
Yeah, exactly.
So I was just curious. I mean, I don't watch them. I totally gave up on
There's
even
fu-
watching the superhero movies
There's
anymore.
funny moments. See, I was just like a super comic head, so seeing like all the live action shit, even if it's not the best depiction, and some of it does piss me off in certain areas, it's still like sick to see. It's
See,
still
I'm-
sick
yeah,
to
I'm like
see like a
definitely
lot of
big
that shit.
comic nerd. I guess I just don't want to be disappointed watching the movies and be like, that's not it. Like,
That
like
that
I'm
is
always,
fair because
I
there
will
is
be
a
that
lot
guy.
of
Unfortunately, I will totally be that guy.
that is fair because there is a lot of that, but then there's also a lot of that. Like, so a good example I would say is like the DC fucking Justice League movie. Whenever that first came out, I was severely disappointed with it. But then whenever they dropped the
did
Snyder cut,
Yes.
I was like, all right, this is fucking
Yeah, the
sick.
Snyder
And
cut
now
was
this
really
makes
good.
a lot of sense
Yeah, the
of like
Snyder cut was
why
good.
it didn't work in film because you cut out all this shit that made this film work. So like I see a lot of the differences in it where it's like the fucking Ant-Man shit. It's like it got shit on for some of the visual effects. None of the storyline got shit on. And that's I feel like doesn't really get talked about.
I
You
don't
know?
watch superhero movies because I'd rather just watch like a movie that's like
More
so
grounded.
or like it wasn't
An
already
original
an
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
pre-written
I got
thing.
you.
Like and the
Not much of those around these days.
Yeah, so superhero movies, I'm kind of just like, all right.
But to
Another one.
defend it just a little
Yeah,
bit,
Exactly.
Awesome.
Another one.
to defend it just a
Awesome.
little bit, it's more so a situation like the newer shit that they're creating. Most of it's not a firm depiction of the comics. A lot of it is like these directors and producers and writers like take on it almost.
Well, yeah, they found the ultimate plot hole, which is they were like, well, we can use the multiverse, guys.
Exactly.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we can do whatever we want now.
Exactly.
you
So
know,
now it's
like-
become a situation where not much of it's a true depiction of comics. They'll still throw in stuff from the comics to be like more of a cameo, like
Yeah,
look at what's in there and look at what we were able to depict. But a lot of it is like a producer's and writer's way of kind of putting out their vision of those comics. So while it's not just taking an idea from nothing and creating something out of it, and they are still having a basis to create something from, it is still something that's not just like a clear one-for-one depiction of what you can get in the
Yeah,
comics.
but that's
You know
not
what I mean?
so much that's it for me. It's active. All right,
Right.
another one.
Yeah, it's,
An-
it's too much.
another-
It needs to stop.
Yeah,
It needs to stop.
But it's not going to. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it will.
It's a train on tracks that are continuously building itself. You know what I mean? Like
I think they're making less money every time they come out with one, and eventually, I mean, it already a lot of them cost more than they're actually making. So I honestly I think they will stop making them eventually, but they're gonna squeeze every last drop of milk out of that one.
well, I don't know because I think the Disney Plus shows are showing that you don't have to have like a theater run, that you can just put like a lot of production value into like 6 episodes and then let those 6 episodes on streaming pay your back end type shit.
But
So I think you're gonna see a lot more of
Yeah.
that.
But a lot more people are not continuing their membership with Disney. And,
That's true.
And other
That's
streaming
true.
services. So it's like they're losing money and they're spending money making stuff, but the amount of viewership they're getting is decreasing.
Yeah, but I just think that that's one of those things that is going to fluctuate once you have like the material on the like back end. It's you just have to figure out how to get it out there.
I think they need to start making like new stuff again. Like what was that? What's that movie about? The Irish girl, the red-haired girl that
Brave.
Brave. Wasn't that really good?
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people like
I mean,
that. That
Pixar
was
has
an
some good ones.
original.
Is that DreamWorks?
Is that
Pixar.
DreamWorks? Is it or
Oh.
is it? Oh, okay. Wait,
think
are
it's
they owned
Pixar.
by Disney now?
Are
I mean,
they
they
the
own
same?
everything.
Are DreamWorks and Pixar competitors or do they work together?
they work together, kind of. I mean, I think it's like Disney, Pixar, Dream, kind of all the same. Like the studios work.
Yeah,
They're
Disney
not
owns,
like
Disney owns all that shit.
Pixar's
Yeah.
the one with the lamp, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
hopping
DreamWorks
lamp.
is the little cloud.
Yeah.
fucking- yeah.
With the dude
They all kind
fishing.
of work together in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
they
I
need
mean,
to
but
make-
yeah, I mean, there's so that I guess what I was trying to say
Hey,
on that
Cocaine.
is
Well,
that, like,
we were talking earlier. Cocaine Bear, I feel like it's on the right track. Was on the right track of like a new.
I heard it was funny.
I
heard it was
liked
pretty
it.
funny.
I thought
it was good for what it was. Type
It
of
was
thing. It got
dumb
bad
comedy.
reviews and
Yeah.
it got shit on, but it was good for what it was.
I mean, so
Yeah.
did the new Bill Burr movie, but I thought that was funny. The critics shit on that one too.
But I guess that was a conversation we had earlier. Is like, there's not really a viable way to make a comedy movie in really any scale without the critics shitting on it and
I mean,
it getting a
the
bad
critics
box
shit on-
office
yeah.
and all of those things. Like a comedy movie's never going to be a producer's first choice because it's
Or
never
horror
been.
movies.
Horror movies, I would say, have even a better chance than comedy movies at actually performing in the box office.
Yeah, I will watch any horror movie. Like, even if I know it's gonna suck, I'm still gonna watch it. Just because, like, the horror movies is this weird thing where, like, it's just as fun to make fun of a really crappy horror movie as it is to go watch a really good one.
Yeah.
They're both equally entertaining. Like, you can sit there and laugh your ass off about some cheesy ass horror movie and just be like, what are we watching? And by the end of it, you're just as amused as if it was a good movie.
And that's what like kind of brings the conversation about like whenever you say like I kind of like you think it'll stop for the superhero movies or like wish it would stop. It's more so it's like you're betting on producers thinking that those type of movies won't make like more than a comedy movie or a horror movie or a rom-com.
Yeah.
A lot of these other things are getting their box office kind of hit, but they're what people actually probably would rather have. Instead, it's like, oh, let's just bring fucking Blade back and throw some vampires getting killed in a theater. You know what I mean? But like, that's kind of what I'm saying is it's that simple for a producer to be like, I don't think we would make some movies on like that type of like concept or topic. We should go back to action and bullets
Reliable.
And Fast and Furious. And
I think it's
shit
like steady stream income, not like anything like really mountains or anything like that. But if they were to do like if there's one superhero movie that I would like to see, I would like to see Batman Beyond.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
I would love to see Batman Beyond. I don't care how much CGI you use because obviously you're gonna have to because it's Batman Beyond. I don't care. I just want to see it.
Yeah, but they're already doing.
We grew up with that cartoon.
Robert
and I loved it.
Pattinson, though, you know what I mean. So they're not gonna probably do something like.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I mean,
Are they
even
gonna
like
keep doing those?
Yeah, they're doing another one.
I would like to see a DC version of like what they're doing with the Across the Spider-Verse shit, like that animated version of like a theater film. You know what I mean? Like
It probably will.
I mean,
at some point.
I would like to see that because I think DC can go a lot darker. Well, usually goes a lot darker.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to.
That's the whole point.
So in that,
Their animations are good.
and through animation, I think that you could have a delve into the dark side of things a lot easier than you can with live action. Obviously,
I mean, the Killing Joke. You know that comic?
Yeah. That one's
series?
good as fuck.
Joker literally cuts his face off and just like plasters it on the side of the Gotham Police Department like wall. Eventually, later on in the series, he gets his face back and like straps it back onto his head, and it's like super. Like, cause it doesn't fit anymore, so you can see his muscle like under, like his smile is just pulled back by these straps, and you can see his like the muscle and gum and everything like that, cause it's not, it doesn't fit anymore, and you can see it in his eyes and everything, cause it's like that's dark, like that's freaky, dude. Like, I mean, that's it. Like, if you look at the graphics, I wish we don't have a computer hooked up right now, but the graphic, the novelization of it is super dark, and it's like, why can't we get movies like that? Because that's everybody's favorite Joker, or at least a lot of people that read the comics. That's their,
Is it going to reach a better, more wide general audience? Wider spread general audience?
I think that's what like the adult comic readers want to see, but they can't make those movies because they gotta think about the kids.
Dude, that's the problem. Like, I guess that's the emphasis of the conversation Daniel and I were having earlier. Is like the problem is that it isn't that there aren't these ideas of having better movies. It's that the people that are paying for the movies and funding these movies being made are more worried about their profits than a better idea.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And that's an issue whenever we're talking about like, well, fuck, this is like the thing that is driving a lot of people's idea of what art is or what a movie is supposed to be or a theater experience. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about like, you love going to the movies. It's like, are 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, people going to love going to the movies? Probably not. At this rate.
Oh, I don't know, man. That would be disappointing if they didn't.
Because it's never.
Although if they keep changing up the experience for the movie theater, which is cool. Now you get, it's a full dining experience, which So that's if they keep doing stuff like that, then I think it'll be
let's
fine.
get a ball pit in there.
Let's get a fucking ball pit in there. Because everybody has headphones. You can just scream at somebody. Nobody's gonna care.
Or screaming kids.
We don't have to hear about we don't have to hear your little shithead kid that just doesn't want to shut up. Why did you bring your kid into a rated R horror movie that's that young and he doesn't know how to shut up?
Can I tell you?
Why are you doing that? You're ruining it for everybody.
This might be a little fucked up, but so my sister was saying it's like it was her and her kids, and they went to go watch a movie at the theater, right? They kept hearing this kid yell, and they were like getting upset. They're like, dude, why did you bring your kid? It's like one of those situations, right? And they were just like getting really annoyed. The kid kept like yelling, right? And then when they leave,
oh no, oh no.
Then they leave the theater like, oh.
What was it?
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think I know where this goes.
Just the special needs.
Okay.
And now we're the assholes.
Yep.
Well, I don't feel like
But
an
it was
asshole.
it was one of those things that like they felt like an asshole because they're just like, dude, fucking shut up, and then you're like,
that moment, yeah, I get that.
you're like, ah, my
Yeah,
bad.
that is
Actually,
brutal. That would make me feel like shit.
yeah, because it's like you can't tell them
Yeah.
like don't bring them to the movie theater.
Well, and they want to experience it. Like, of
Yeah,
course,
they should
have
be able to
every right to
experience-
experience.
yeah,
the
so
movie
the
theater.
headphones would be a good idea, I think.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying exactly. But I mean, like,
Silencing headphones, everyone can watch the movie. It's surround sound.
The problem with that would be like
True.
a sanitation thing. Like you'd have to clean them after every
yeah,
movie
yeah,
for
yeah.
new guests, or
then
have
that's
different
when you
ones
get your
for.
own personal set that
If
you
you-
take to every movie you go see.
You could do
Yeah,
that.
it's got its own design. It's like
No
gaming
one's
headphones.
doing that, dude.
You could do that, or find a way to innovate.
They're doing that.
You could find a way to innovate headphones that are cheap, like as cheap to make as the little paper 3D glasses. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, those
they
didn't last
give
long,
those out
though.
to even like the plastic 3D glasses. You know what I mean? Like they give those out to everybody that goes to those films.
Do you
Like,
guys?
it could be the same thing if you just hand every guest a little pair of headphones. If they're cheap and easy to make and they work, you know what I mean? Like it could be that simple.
yeah,
Do
but
you like 3D movies?
Fuck
No.
no.
No,
I don't know who does.
it's a trope or it's like a gimmick, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty gimmicky.
yeah. So I went to go
It's
see.
just a way to get people to pay a little bit extra.
I saw Piranha 3D back when that came out like 10 years ago. That was pretty sweet.
I saw Avatar 3D, and I regretted it
Yeah.
because it was like 3 hour.
Oh my god, you just had those glasses on.
Honestly,
the whole time.
I do
Yeah.
kind of miss the red and blue 3D.
Oh,
Cause like that shit
my
was so
God.
silly. It's just like, what am I fucking watching?
Dude, we had
bro?
those at home. We had Power Rangers. We had one of our Power Rangers was
That's pretty sick. I don't care what anyone
was
says.
3D, and we had the glasses at home.
Best 3D movie as a kid.
The
all
Rugrats
time.
3D.
The
Spy
fuck-
Kids.
Spy Kids 3D.
Spy Kids 3D.
Spy
I knew what
Kids
you were gonna
3D.
say.
Come on, bro. That's
That shit
obviously
was
the
gas.
best 3D.
I'm the guy.
You're not
It's
the guy.
freaking Bilbo Baggins.
Frodo,
Frodo.
it's
Whatever.
Frodo.
What's it? Whatever. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Elijah Wood.
Fucking
Elijah Wood. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, Wilfred.
Dude, Wilfred's funny as fuck.
That is a funny
That
concept.
shit's
Um,
hilarious.
So what y'all think about the Matt Rife special? Matt Rife.
I still haven't seen
I haven't
it.
watched it. You're the only one that's seen
I
it.
mean, I've only heard bad reviews. I
fuck.
don't feel
That's a
any
conversation you're gonna have to
reason
have with
watch
yourself.
I just want y'all to watch it.
I mean, I've watched enough of it.
I will watch it. I mean, but you're telling me
No.
it's not good, and I trust your opinion.
Thank
so
you. It's
No,
like,
but
I'm
why
not
do I
gonna
have to
I
watch
don't want to
this?
watch it then.
You have to watch it.
You
Is
don't
it enough
have
that I
to.
trust you?
No.
We don't have,
have
to
to
watch it
suffer
to
with
know that
me.
it's
Yeah,
not
dude.
good.
Someone else needs to watch it. I only made it halfway, but I need someone else to watch it.
Why?
To
that-
suffer with him.
Yeah, that way
But that's not fair for us.
I can talk about it with somebody.
Communism.
You
We all
can't talk
suffer
about it with
together.
both of us. You can explain it to us, and you can tell us how bad it is, and we can trust you and not watch it.
Okay,
That's how that works.
Fine, y'all haven't seen it. I'll say this though to everyone. This is a PSA. You
Watch
should-
it.
No, yeah, no, don't watch it. Don't watch it. That was for them. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. But don't cancel him because he made some shitty domestic abuse joke. Cancel him because he just made a bunch of shitty jokes that weren't good.
What was the domestic
See-
abuse joke?
He was talking about him and his friend were at a restaurant and some lady was serving him with a big black eye. He's like, and you know how she got the black. You know, she didn't trip and fall type of thing, right? And you're like, all right, dude. All right.
That's not even creative.
It wasn't. And then so it's like they're serving her, and then basically they're like, "This is the face." He's like, "This is the face of the company. Like, this is who you want to serve me." He's like, and his friend's like, "Yeah, put her in the kitchen or something." He's like, "Well, if she could cook, she wouldn't have the black eye in the first place."
That's still not that creative.
It's not funny,
It's
but
not
it's
funny,
also
it's-
not that bad. I
No,
mean, I'm
it's-
not even gonna
well,
sit here and try
It's
to
like a
defend
joke
it.
that some shitty person would make in their garage while they're
Exactly,
drinking.
that's
and
beer.
all
like
your
a
friends are
fucking-
like you're that friend that like all the other friends, you know, even though they're not that great, they're
It's a
still even,
Budweiser
like,
joke.
Yeah, everyone's
they're
like,
That's a Budweiser
did
joke.
you have
That
to
is
make
a-
the joke though? It
Yeah.
was there, but you had to grab it.
Right.
You had.
I don't
to.
know. That's
but even if in the moment his friend said that, it was just like, okay, that's what you chose to put in your stand-up. Not the fact, like, I'm like, that joke's
Yeah,
not
he didn't
cancelable.
show that to anybody.
that's where I'm
or
at. It's
he
like,
did show it to people, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah."
No,
cool.
this is
no,
what I'm
he's
telling.
just getting pandered to.
No, yeah, what I'm telling
Uh.
what I was telling him is like a lot of comedians, they usually will play to like crowds that aren't their normal crowds, so they can hone in and build the special to see what really works and what doesn't.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I
But
think
he's not one of those.
I don't think he's one of those. I think he plays to like the same crowds that love him. So they're like, and then you're like,
Like anything that comes out of his mouth is just godsend.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically what Bill Burr said about people who stopped doing the clubs. Basically, it's like you got to do the clubs, because if you're always just doing shows for the people that buy your tickets that are there
Your
to see
$200,
you,
$300 ticket.
well, not even
because
that
they
part,
love your jokes.
not that portion
typically.
of it. Mostly just the idea if there are people there to see you,
They're gonna laugh.
they're gonna laugh. They're inclined to laugh. I mean, kind of not to like directly correlate it to the show that we went to for Stavros, but it's like I love Stavros's comedy. I've loved his special. I've watched a lot of his podcasts episodes. Like there's an inclination as soon as I walk in that door, knowing I bought his ticket, that I want to laugh at his
We didn't
comedy.
buy his ticket.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
We didn't buy
But-
the tickets.
It's like it's
That's
like
fair,
somebody
but-
that's sorry.
That's fair, but my point is that like there is a difference between showing up to a 15 to 20 minute set and nobody in that crowd knew you were going to be there.
Right.
So it's like a surprise visit, whether they know you or not. They have no reason to laugh at your stuff unless it's funny type shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So-
That gets more difficult as you get famous, though. Huh.
Yes, but it also doesn't, because Dave Chappelle was doing fucking stand up in parks.
Yeah, but he's just
He's
awesome.
him.
Like,
He's
I
him.
mean, he's
I'm not
just
saying
good,
that.
You know,
I was just saying it's like there, yes and no, because there are clear examples of people that were able to succeed without doing that.
But
I did not.
I was gonna say to finish off the statement with the Matt Rife thing, he also did cancelable thing that he did. He was like, if you get offended by my joke, here's a website where you can make a formal complaint type of thing. You click the link and it's special need helmet. Special needs helmets.
Which
That was
to
funny.
be
That
fair,
was
when he
funny.
told me about that, I was like, that's fucking
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
That's what
That is
everyone-
funny.
Everyone was saying that shit was funny, but that was like the only, like that was the funniest part about any of
Yeah.
the whole special.
And it wasn't in the
It
special.
wasn't in the special.
Well, so, yeah, right. It wasn't even
I mean,
actually part of the special.
Yeah.
But that's like making, it's like whenever you see somebody flirting, like two people flirting, and it's just like one of them's just laughing at what the other person's joke, and it's like that wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But they're just laughing their ass off. You're just
Right.
like, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, very funny. Yeah. Why did they? why did-
Right. We got someone's got
Yeah.
the right crowd.
Yeah. Like don't even make a joke, and the other person will just start laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that there is something to it, but beyond that, it's. I guess another thing I was telling Daniel is like I said, I haven't watched the full special. I'm not gonna defend the guy. I'm not gonna sit here and try to defend any part of him because I don't really like him as a comedian. But I mean, like I said, he's not like bad. That's the problem. Is that he has a good stage presence. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows.
I gotta
how-
watch it. I've never
he
seen
has-
anything he's
He
done.
has
Never seen
confidence
anything he's
in the
done.
things that he's doing. He just doesn't have material.
His comedy is bad.
Yes.
He's the entertainer. His comedy
Correct.
is bad.
I would say that's
It's
a
So
bad.
it's
good way
all
of saying
stage
it.
presence.
Yes.
If you were to watch,
No
or if you were to
substance.
listen to it without being able to watch it, maybe it would not be funny at all.
An album
is
without
like-
visuals would not work ever.
I
for
don't
Matt
think
Rife.
it's funny at
No.
all.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not for you. That's the thing. Is that like again? We've had that conversation too about the Marvel movies. It's like if you're not here to take your kid to this shit and you didn't like pay attention to the comics and you want to see this depiction and you don't care about the toys, then Marvel movies aren't for you. In the same way that if you're not a woman that likes young white men, then Matt Rife isn't for you.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta watch it. But
he's
I
not
mean,
funny.
The thing is, you're telling me to watch it, but you're not
Exactly.
making me want to watch it.
You shouldn't
you
watch
know?
it.
Like, and
Yeah, I
You
watched.
should
it's
watch
gonna be
him
like
get
an
roasted on
hour
Wild
of
and
my
Out.
life that I will not get back,
Yeah, no, you.
and I
wouldn't-
might come back here and be pissed at you.
You don't want to watch it, dude. It's really bad.
I
I
will
watch.
give him money if I watch
Yeah,
it.
I give everything a chance though,
Couple
because I don't
cents.
want to be like, I don't want to be that person who's like, oh yeah, dude, he shucks. And like, have you seen any of his stuff? You're like, but like, I want to watch all of it and get. Not.
Yeah,
but
give
I
it
was
a
saw-
fair shot.
I
Give it
saw a fair
shot.
amount of the kid on Wild and Out. I saw a fair amount of him on like other shit that he's done. It's not like I've never seen his
Wait,
stand up.
wait.
It's more so just like I have seen enough of his stand up to not want to watch his
Is
new
this the
special.
pretty boy guy?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've seen some of his clips. He's not funny.
No.
He's just a pretty boy.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. I didn't realize that's who you were talking about. And then one of y'all said something. It just
It's the
came
white,
to my
it was
brain.
the young white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. What you said? He was in Young
Wild
Wild
and
Now.
Out. Yeah.
You said that, and then I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's not funny.
No. But he's got. That's what I'm saying. This is kind of what I was trying to tell you is that like there's a difference between someone that has all the tools and no material, and all the material but none of the tools. And it's like it's kind of equally bad to be both because you need both things. If you have like great material but no confidence in yourself and no stage presence and no ability to market yourself, then good are you? You know what I mean? Like, how funny can you possibly be? Like, you might be a writer on SNL one day, but at that level type shit. But if you have all of those things but no material, then you're gonna be doing what he's doing, which is getting on Netflix and having everyone disappointed.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all want to go do some open mics?
I'm down.
I'd do it. I'll give it a
but
shot.
Also, if you're looking to get into any type of stand-up comedy and Matt Rife has been disappointing you, a good specials this year. Check out Ralph Barbosa dropped a special this year. Jeffrey Osmus dropped a special this year.
Obviously, Shane and Marks.
Shane Gillis.
Really, the whole fucking
Mark Normand.
Protect Our Parks crew.
Ari
Except for Joe.
Shafir. Davros Hakias is about to drop one. Probably by the time this episode drops, he would have dropped his special already. I feel like I'm missing a special that I watched drop this year.
Ali Sadiq's were pretty good.
Ali Sadiq, yeah, those are some good comedians to go check out as well. Like all of those are really good. Ralph Barbosa is up and coming too. So
I'm gonna go check out all those.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the audience here that you're talking to.
Yeah, hey,
You
Jeffrey
know,
Osmus, though, that was my favorite. Mark Norman is my personal favorite comedian just 'cause he's always on. He's never off.
I wish I had more like energy to search for more comedians, 'cause like now I feel like whenever I get off of work, I don't have that much like energy to like kind of give somebody a shot type shit. It's not like that. I feel it's more so that I feel like I'm not able to mentally give somebody like my full attention after a full day's of work. You know what I mean? And then
That's why I actually watch the podcasts. I don't really like watching a lot of the as much of the bigger podcasts sometimes because it's just them bullshitting.
Yeah.
That's why like for instance, Dan Soder was the reason I found Jeffrey Osmus. Dan Soder was like that's one of my personal favorite comedians at the moment. Just like his style. I watched him, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Soder's one of my favorite, not just podcasters, but comedians, just 'cause he's like a guy's guy type of shit. Like,
oh yeah,
who is this?
Dan Soder.
Dan Soder.
Yeah, he was first on like I think he first popped out on like Guy Code, back when that came out.
I'm so out of touch.
Guy Code was on MTV. It was like where a bunch of comedians would just come on every week for an episode talking about like different rules to Guy Code, like.
Oh, yeah,
you remember that?
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Andrew Schultz,
like
and Charlemagne the
code,
God.
but just keep adding on to it.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of
That's a good
comedians would
idea.
just like
That's
do
kinda
skits and stuff like that, and just make jokes every week. But it was on MTV.
I think
But
I do remember that.
a lot of comedians that we know of today is like the bigger comedians got their start on shows like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, not start. Obviously, they were probably still doing clubs and shit like that. But that was their first big break of a certain sense. But Dan Soder was always one of those like, I don't have to try that hard. I'm just kind of being myself, and it like works for me type of shit.
Yeah.
That's something I've always fucked with certain guys like that. Kind of like Chris Stefano too. I
those are
feel
the
like
best.
Chris
People
Stefano
that-
is like somebody who's just like super bubbly. He probably tries a little bit harder than Dan Soder in a lot of ways, but
yeah,
he's one of those dudes that's just like not afraid to go out on a limb type
yeah.
shit.
Chris is funny.
You guys
Mr.
ever
Stefano.
watch that Actors Roundtable
Oh yeah.
videos on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
I was watching one, and who was it? It was not Adam Sandler.
Adam Driver.
No, it's he was in the talk, but no, it was not him talking, but he was on that episode. No, it was Tom Hanks, and because he used
Pedophile.
to do.
They are
comedy.
saying Tom Hanks.
I
is a
know,
pedophile,
but that aside, but
Yeah, just
like
kidding.
originally he did comedies when he was like younger,
Mhm.
right? Like but it was interesting because he was saying the hardest thing for he was like he could cry on set pretty easily, but even though he himself is like a comedic person, like he's a comedic personality in general, he was like it's just impossible to get there, and they're like, all right, now like make people laugh, and he was like every time on set that they ever did that, it was just silence, and it was crickets, and everybody's like,
Are you sure this is the guy?
yeah, and
Can't all be Jim Carrey's, you know.
exactly.
Or a Will Ferrell. They're very few
Exactly.
and far between with those type of.
Will Ferrell's pretty funny just off the bat, actually.
Yeah.
What's
Those
that
Jim
guy? He has I've always brain farted his name.
Kenny Powers.
He's got the show on
Danny
Adult Swim.
McBride's there too. What?
He's got the show on Adult Swim. Or they might have moved it. It's just his name.
Joe Esperanza.
No,
No,
he always
no, that's wrong.
destroys his desk every time he starts.
Oh,
the show.
Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric
Eric
Andre.
Andre.
His
Yeah.
stand-up, not funny at all. Shit
I was thinking
did
of Joe
not-
something
did
else.
not
I would-
make me laugh.
I would
even
agree with
once.
that in a lot of ways. I think his stand up is more so
Love his
another one of
show,
those
but-
things where it's like if you're a fan of Eric Andre, then you love his stand up.
I like it. I love the show. Like I've always.
I'm
I've
not
watched
even
shows
saying
since I was
that.
a
I'm
kid,
saying,
but,
like,
his
the
stand-up, I was
person.
like,
It wasn't
Alright.
very jokey. Like there
Yeah,
wasn't a
no.
lot of storytelling either. So I mean, it's more so just like if you fuck with like the outrageous person that Eric Andre is, then you might like the special, but it's not really like
yeah.
joke comedy or anything.
I think
like
that's
that.
everything nowadays. Everything is kind of like find your. I mean, unless you want to
That's
be
exactly what.
unless you're wanting to be huge, and you need a general audience in order to do that, which then comes with sacrificing some kind of integrity to get there. Not always. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I mean,
Like one of
Yeah,
my
it's-
favorite
yeah.
comedians right now is
Kinda hard.
actually Joe List in a lot of
oh,
ways.
Joe List is funny too. I love Joe List.
But he flies under a lot of people's radars, even though he's paired with like Mark Norman and other people like that.
I
For
mean, yeah, he's definitely
his
up there.
pod and shit like that. But he's one of my favorites right now just because of his like dry humor and shit like that. Like his shit is fucking elite. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. There's something about like that's what I really love about comedy is how many different styles there are and how you can exist as the goat of comedy just because of your style type shit. Like
Like people look at Bobby Lee as like
people look at Bobby Lee like a comedic legend, but he's never had a special. Not once.
Yep.
Yeah, that is really weird.
And I'm not saying he's not a comedic legend.
I
but
liked,
he does never release stand-up comedy.
I wish Donald Glover did more than he did with this. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if y'all saw his stand-up, but it was funny.
good. It was good.
Like I thought it was pretty damn, especially the Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man bit.
I would be
pretty
willing to-
hilarious.
I would
Like,
be willing
make
to
Michael
say-
Cera Shaft.
I would be willing to say that like that might be something he takes up later in life because I mean he's still like kind of in his artistic.
He
He's
said he was
still in
gonna
his
stop
artistic
rapping, right?
prime.
Like
yeah,
he's not rapping anymore.
I would say
he
probably
say that?
not. He's
No,
probably
I thought
not.
he said something about like I'm not gonna
He's-
do it anymore. Like I'm
I
done.
mean, for a while, probably for a while, if he ever just.
yeah, they always come back.
Because he's one of those people in the world that I mean,
It's just a creative.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
He's
he
been
did-
in so many different levels of creativity. Like
Oh,
I think
college humor.
Yeah.
His college humors are some of I can go back even though they're like 13, 14 years old, and I still to this day laugh my ass off, and I've seen them 1,000 times.
comedic actor, dramatic actor, comedian, musician,
Dude, Atlanta's
artist,
such a great
writer,
written
producer.
show.
I haven't
like-
watched Atlanta at all.
Dude, that shit's gat.
At
You
all.
gotta watch that. That shit's
What is
good.
it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Okay, see, I told you I just not been on the TV movie shit game.
I
for a
haven't
long
seen
time.
like the last couple episodes of that final season, but I definitely would recommend
So
it.
he
'cause-
still makes that now.
no,
It's not an
that's-
old show. Oh, okay.
That,
so it was
that
old, but-
has had its series finale.
Did it?
I believe so. You can look that up, but I'm pretty sure they're not making that anymore. But that's kind of what I'm
He
saying is
can't
he's
sit
still in
forever. He's gonna have to come back.
he's
and do
still
something.
in his artistic prime. He's like he's seen success after success after success
Yeah.
in everything that he's done. Fucking
I would imagine
Community,
the
fucking
pressure just
Yeah.
because everything keeps being good.
Well, I don't
and
know.
He's doing different stuff.
Would you say that it gets like that or even less? Because I mean, you could say this for as an artist, it's like if you're seeing more and more reception after everything that you do, would that place pressure on you or relieve pressure off of you? You know what I mean? Like
Probably place pressure because expectations,
that's fair.
and you'll never meet anyone's expectation, like because their expectation is not your expectation, and you're you, and you're gonna do what your expectation is. So, you know,
But from a
some
realistic-
people are really good at just ignoring the fact that other people have expectations.
That's fair, but
So-
from a realistic point of view, would you not say that like after you having that mentality after every success, like there's only a few of those that you can really like tell yourself like, all right, well I'm not like that because you keep succeeding in these different fields and you keep telling yourself like, well, no, I mean expectations are gonna rise. I mean maybe the pressure's still on me, but like you keep succeeding. Type
Yeah.
shit. It's like how do you? There's got to be a threshold you cross where you're like, nah, I'm just fucking like that.
I was talking with one of my other bandmates about I was thinking about doing just a different genre every album.
Yeah,
And
that
just
would
trying
be
to,
fucking
maybe
crazy.
maybe not covering every single genre there is, but just covering completely different ground every time we did an album. I was talking to them about that, and that's something. I mean, I'm not speaking for them. They probably don't want to do that, but it's probably just a me thing. But I think that would be super interesting and really cool because there's a band I like called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Check them out if you don't know who they are.
There's a lot of memes about motherfuckers whose favorite band is King Gizzard.
Bro, they're great.
Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
They're not my favorite band, but I like them, and then All Them Witches does it too, but they do it. They're more in their own pocket thing. Whereas King Gizzard, they literally they've got like one of their albums is like metal, another one's just really poppy, another one's really psychedelic rock. So I think that would be cool because then you don't really have to worry. I mean, they probably stopped worrying about the expectation thing because they're like, people know it's going to be different this time because that's what we do.
That's fair.
So I'm like, that probably relieves a lot of pressure because they're just like, we don't have to we don't care about expectations. Like
takes
it's not
time
going
to
to be
do
the
that.
same. Like
It takes longer to build something, and that everyone wants that.
and that's their thing, So can somebody else do it and it's as cool? Maybe not because that's their thing that they changed every time.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, because I mean, it's also a beautiful thing to be able to step into different genres, but then also like create different concepts within the same genre to be able to create like variability in your music. I think both of those paths are really crazy, and like you have to obviously be incredibly talented to do either one of those things.
I would think. Well, I was gonna say the changing it up one would take more effort, but it almost seems like it would take a lot of. I mean, it would definitely take a lot of effort to do the same genre, but continue to come up with original things within the genre.
Right.
Be-
That's kind of
because
what I'm
that kind of
thinking.
like puts you in a bottleneck where you really got to flex your capabilities there.
range there.
Yeah.
It's tough though. I think in like 8 year like kind of path, like whether it's like doing you're saying or just even doing the same genre with like
Like a
Wi-
good a good
originally
example for
doing
that
it
is
in
like
the community.
Logic in a way. Like he did concept albums within like the rap genre. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they were the best, but I mean there are concept albums
Okay.
within that genre. You know what I mean?
There
He
was
was
some good
able
ones
to
in
be
there, some good
original
ones in there.
in what he was doing, type shit.
But
you know what I'm
that
trying to
it's
say?
so broad at that point. I mean, more like if you're a death metal band and you're
Yes.
always having and you're gonna keep doing that. So the next album still has to be, or the next song still has to be death metal. It's gonna be a death metal song, but you have to do it in a way that other people, including yourself, have not done it yet, without leaving the genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. That also seems equally as difficult.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
for sure.
But I think at the end of the day, it's the easiest to like box yourself in. You know what I mean? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it's also hard to box like because then everyone's expecting that same thing. It's like,
See,
oh,
that's
this new
the-
album was different. Like, why don't you do the old shit?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. I try to never do that to
Yeah,
people.
but then it's also
That part.
I
it's
hate
just
when
more
people do that.
digestible
People-
if you do like something that's similar or like something that you feel like people are gonna want a little bit more.
You're-
Adverse to like changing it up every time, because then people are like, I
don't know what to ever expect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, cause I would agree with you. I hate that mentality of like I wish this was like the old shit, cause it's like the artist is growing with you. So like if you want it to be like the old shit, then you want either one you're admitting that you haven't grown, and two you're admitting that artist shouldn't have.
Yeah. Isn't that how I like Motley Crue? That's kind of what they did, right? Like they got older, but they just didn't change. Like they were like, no, we can be this old and still go out there and do that. Like you don't have to keep.
But then
writing those
people get
songs,
tired
like-
of that because
Right.
then
Yeah.
you're just like, all right.
No,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I mean, it's like it's like what's his name? Paul McCartney. It's like he didn't keep going out there writing rock songs. He started sitting down, playing piano, and singing, and it's like everybody loves that shit.
There's two ways to do it. Either you got to set the pace, which will take longer, like in the long run, that you're gonna switch it up and keep things fresh and constantly try out different styles. Or two, you have to be just so good at the one style that you're doing that
It's just
Like, it-
constantly sounds new.
not even just that. I was saying just so good that you're like, hey, I'm gonna try something new, and everyone's just like, we love you no matter
Yeah.
what you do. Those are your two options.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is that like you have to be coming from a place of like believing in whatever you're doing. Otherwise, because that's the thing, is if you're allowing the reactions from the crowd or the critics or whatever to guide how your next song or next piece or next album is supposed to come out, or which realm you want to step into based off of what people like, then you're never gonna truly find like your avenue. it has to be that thing that you're believing in is gonna work, and if it doesn't, then fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, you believed in something, you put your all into it, and fucking it didn't work. I mean, at least at the end of the day, you get to say you fucking did that.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to formulate, then you're always playing from behind, because you're always just playing this game of what is good, not what could be good type shit.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. What's your favorite genre of music, and what about it is like the part that makes it your favorite genre?
Go first.
God damn it.
That is an annoying question. I'm sorry, but I was just curious.
No, it's not an annoying question. It's more so it's like I wouldn't know how to answer the second part, because I mean, the answer for me is hip hop and R&B. But the why is more so about, I guess, where I come from. Like, it was all I listened to as a kid. That's all my dad played.
Well, what aspect
that
of
makes
it? Would you
sense,
say it's
right?
like the feeling of it? Like, would you say, like, for instance,
Well,
like,
so what I was gonna say is that I've always been more interested in the poetry, and rather than the actual, like, quote unquote music, if that makes sense. Like,
so
so
rap could be considered poetry. So why specifically hip hop and art?
because of this typical, and this might come off the wrong way, but the typical topic of song, if that makes sense. In rap, it's
Lovey-dovey shit,
and
or
that,
Yeah, that's
or
cool.
like I like a lot of the R&B song that comes to mind is more of soul and R&B, but like Dance with My Father by Luther Vandross, that has nothing to do with anything other than a kid missing his dad that died type shit.
Yeah. Or
That is a beautiful song that touches me, like, in a lot of like places that kind of come from, like, it makes me think about my dad, and like the day that whenever he does eventually pass, then like there's gonna be a part of me that wants to play that song. And it's like, damn, like that's my pops, and like this is where I come from, and da 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 da. Like, there's a lot of emotional attachment to like the genre that I experience, I guess. You know what I mean? It's not about, like, I guess, the music. It's about like where it comes from and what it attaches to in my brain, if that makes sense.
that's fair. I don't know. It's a hard question. Realistically, growing up, I loved like ambient a lot, like ambient aspects to
like
different
what?
types.
Like I think I'm
If
assuming
an
it's
ambient,
like
honest.
bands. I'm assuming-
Nah, I just
no?
loved ambient. Nah, like ambient
Like,
music, there wasn't like specific.
Not no trance isn't. It's
No,
different,
trance is
right?
electronic, but ambient's
Okay.
like more spacey. Like growing up, there was
Is this a form of
band
EDM
called
that you're
Hammock.
talking about, or a form of electronic that you're talking about?
Nah, dude,
It's like
ambient.
a form of rock, or what is it?
Well, yeah, because ambient's just a descriptive
A word.
Yeah, it
like
can be
so-
all of those.
Okay, so just anything ambient, like bands that
Like
are ambient,
Spacey.
electronic that's ambient.
I mean, but there's like so ambient as a whole. There's like
But that's
pretty
a
much
subset of
some
something,
things,
right?
but then there is like ambient rock, and then there is
okay, that's
ambient
more-
electronic.
Okay, right. So
But
just things
ambient
that
as a
are
whole,
ambient,
specifically, like
yeah.
if
So
you're
it's kinda
looking up
like-
ambient, just ambient, it's gonna be a specific sound.
Okay.
It tends to be more like rockish, but it's more just ethereal sounds.
Like,
Is
yeah,
it kind of
yeah,
like
definitely.
folk? Like there can be folk country, folk rock, folk like other stuff, like
Yeah,
singer
ambient
songwriter.
could
It's
be like
that
a-
word
ambient
can
can
be
be a s-
applied to different
it
genres
can be,
almost.
but specifically, it's just more ethereal, spacey soundings. Usually, like Hammock is a good band.
No, I don't
Okay.
know what you're.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put
Like
M83 as
shoegaze,
ambient.
maybe? Like
Shoegaze is
kinda
a
stuff?
form of ambient.
I would
yeah.
say
Shoegaze
fucking
is a form
Intro
of
by
I
ambient.
like some
M83.
shoegaze bands, honestly.
That is a form of
I do like
ambient.
I would say
some
intro by
shoegaze
M83
bands.
might fall into that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of different. M83 is probably still one of my favorite audience.
Because obviously not all of their music.
No, yeah, because they cover like some rock stuff.
Right.
They cover some like poppy stuff. They do like a lot of electronic stuff, a lot of like ambient stuff. Without a doubt, probably one of my favorite producers, creators. He shits on electronic music a lot, which I also think is kind of funny.
Why do you like ambient though?
Just like the feeling, man. It just like
It's like a calming, maybe, in like a
It
really
ju-
hectic
gives me
world or
like
something like that?
I don't know. It brings me personally to a place that makes me feel like I'm exactly where I need to be, or like it brings me to a place that I feel like I've been, but haven't. You know what I mean? Like it always takes me back to
It's
like
a temporary nirvana, maybe.
almost, yeah. Like even like
Like a
it
very.
it's like you know how people feel, I guess, nostalgic. Like I think of like when I'm a kid, but it's not that because there's not like anything when I was a kid that I
Like
was.
the soundtrack to your dreams almost.
Yeah, it feels like exactly. Like I'm like this is a
Like
moment.
like a home.
Yes,
type of
it's
feeling.
very much that. But like now, I would say if I'm talking music, it's definitely gonna be like 140 or like drum and bass for sure. Just 'cause the like
140 like beats per minute. Is that is?
That's what it's based off of.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's the
So
genre.
all
It's
all the
dubstep. It's a form of
songs are
dubstep.
in 140.
It's a style of dubstep in 140 BPM.
Okay.
So it
But it's
could-
called they call it because it are this.
It's
Okay,
just they're all coincidentally in
no,
140.
I'm gonna give you the history real quick. So 140 actually derives from the original dubstep, right? Like when they
Like the Silver Apples.
S-
It's like
what?
a band from.
I don't
I
think
was
I've
like,
ever heard
what?
of Silver. Yeah, I was like, you said
Sorry.
no.
Okay. Anyway.
But so essentially, like dubstep, there was like the original dubstep people used to listen to in the UK and stuff, like
right.
Burial and shit.
Like
And it
90s.
evolved a little bit. Rusco was kind of like a turning point at one point, and then from there, like, kind of evolved into bro step, what they call bro step, which is a lot of dubstep producers that no, it's the
right,
the
yeah,
high
yeah.
pitch, just excision ass shit.
Yeah.
But people call it bro step because it brought a lot of bro-y type of people, and people who create that type of dubstep tend to hate that name, but that's what it got labeled with was bro step.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
It is
No.
what
You don't choose the label. Your
I
crowd
think it was
chooses the label.
The crowd did choose because they hated it, dude. They like the original dubstep lovers hated it, but we wrap back around, and 140 it's different, but it's pretty much the closest derivative of that original sound. But it's funny how it just wrapped back around. But
Everything happens in cycles.
But the
like
genre
that.
had changed so much, and what people associated with it, it created a whole new genre when it's basically just the original fucking sound.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, I mean, everything.
It's hilarious.
Everything
actually.
happens in those cycles, right? You know, like I mean, just
Yeah.
like we see people walking around wearing bell bottoms again now, and people have mullets again now, and people,
Yeah.
you know, everything happens in cycles.
Not me.
It all comes back around. You said not me, not me.
No, not I.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't want a pair of corduroy bell bottoms.
Bro, I saw
I
somebody
want
with my brother.
want
My
'em
brother had a
bad.
corduroy Nike hat at fucking Thanksgiving.
I love corduroy.
That shit looked so fire. I was
I
like,
bet it did.
I was like, I
fucking bet
kind
it
of
did.
need that in my closet right
I
now.
want black corduroy bell bottoms that I can wear to a fucking death metal show.
I kind of want a corduroy like crop top.
I'm sorry.
Interesting. Interesting. Dude, I want a crop. I saw your brother wearing a crop. I was like,
Yeah, in
I
fucking
don't
Salt
think I
Lake.
could rock. I don't think I could rock a crop top.
I was like,
think
so
you
people
could
are bringing
probably rock a crop top.
People are bringing
No
crops
homo.
back.
I was getting hate. Don't
They
get me wrong.
been
I
back.
wear a lot of different types of crops. I wouldn't.
I don't
put
think
that.
you were getting hate. I think you were just getting chopped on. I don't think it's the
No,
same thing.
crop
There's
top has
nobody.
been back.
There's nobody that was like, Daniel, you should really change. It's more so like, ah.
Yeah,
You can wear the crop top. It's back.
I still
Crop
wearing
top
the,
for dudes is back, dude.
I mean, yes and no.
I would
My
say
dad used to wear a crop top.
I would say yes and no is a good
it's
good
definitely
answer.
like beach wear though.
It's not exactly though. 'Cause I think
fest wear.
I think it just depends. I think we're entering well, I don't know. We've probably already been in it, but at least entering at the very least entering into a phase of fashion where it just doesn't fucking matter.
No. I saw a meme that was like, there used to be fashion trends. Now it's just customizing your avatar. And then it was like, you know, it was a picture of a bunch of different fashion trends in like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then it was just now, and it's just everyone, and it's just one picture of
bunch
it
of
might be New
different
York or
random
Boston,
people.
I don't know where it's at, but it's just like no one's paying attention to each other, so they're not related to each other, but they're all just wearing outrageous shit for no reason, like and none of it makes sense, and it's just like there's no
Bro, there's a lot of bullshit going on that's being called fashion, and that's real. Like,
Yeah.
there's a $75
Yeah.
Prada tank top. It's just a regular fucking Hanes tank top with
Let's
fucking
go.
holes in the fuck. Like, I'm not talking about just like little like bullet holes or nothing like that. I'm talking about like rips in that
Yeah.
bitch, just like white tank top, ripped the fucking part. Like,
or
I
the
can
mesh.
I can
that
make this
everybody's
for
wearing?
you for $1.
Yeah. the
including labor.
well, that's the idea. Is so it looks like they did make it right.
It is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
It's like I mean, that's art, right? It's just like
I know there's a name. There's
That's
a
the problem.
name
Is
for the
that fashion is
fashion
getting to
sense.
this place where it's like it's art. It's like what? Well, I thought this was supposed to be wearable in like a practical
Well,
sense
there's always
to a
been
degree.
the extreme fashion. You know, like your New
True.
York. We talked about this on one of the last podcasts, so we don't have to go back into it. But there's always been that extreme New York. You know, those crazy laser glasses, that are just like
Yeah.
Cyclops, There's always been that shit, but it's just like
and incorporating
your
some of
average
that
person's-
right, incorporating some of that into like your average person's life is probably not that easy, and you could do it, but at that point, like you said, you're just fucking decorating your avatar. This isn't like an actual
We
fashion
Bro, if you
trend.
worked in a chemical plant and you walked in with those Cyclops
Glasses.
sunglasses, you're gonna get punched in the face.
It'd be like, Corey, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Yeah, right.
I don't know, man. I love both sides. It's crazy being like in a middle point because there's one part of me that's like I do love the expression of art, and there's one part of me that is like, all right, if you walked in, maybe you should get punched in the face.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a little bit
what
of
the
both.
fuck are you doing?
But there's also the
Disturbing
part of
peace
me,
like that.
even though I do love the expression of art, there is also a part of me where it's like, yeah, some of those kids, it's like, all right, calm the fuck down. And they're like, some of those people are pretentious because they're like, you don't fucking get it.
Or you don't see
have
the,
to be to
you see
have
the
the
YouTube
confidence to
channels that
wear that in
like
public.
how much is your fit type shit. It's like Prada Bell 1500, fucking these pants 1500.
I hate those videos.
Those videos fucking suck. It's like, what are we fucking doing? Just describing how much money all of these kids are wasting on shit they didn't need and don't look good in.
Yes. But then I am on the opposite side, like the people who would punch those kids in the face. Sometimes I think they are a little judgmental, but
Or they're mad. Maybe
it's a
they're
balance
mad.
in life. It's a life.
Maybe they're
balance.
mad because they're not confident enough to do that.
That's
And
not it.
that's one way
Hey,
of
I'm
looking
an
at it.
optimist, okay?
I'm trying to stay positive, dude.
We talked about this before.
No, but I mean, optimism would say that like there is a way out of this sphere of where fashion is kind of like the status quo type shit. Like if you're not wearing,
Yeah, you have to
fucking,
eliminate fashion. We all
Not-
wear gray and black.
I'm not
and
even
just
saying
crew
that, but
necks.
we have to stop using our expressions as a way of saying I'm better than this person or
Yes.
that person.
I
That's
don't-
kind of where
I
I'm
don't
at.
think it's possible because that's just a part of the human psyche is the ego, and you're going to project your ego on your right. I mean, I'm wearing death metal stuff.
Yeah,
wearing
dude,
your
cosmic
stuff.
vibes.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
it goes as far as
That's what my
like
shirt
it
says.
goes right. So, are you buttoning?
Just put the top button up. Just put the top button up and just be like, what the fuck is up, Holmes? It's fucking sleepy, eh?
You kind of. It's a little fucked up, but you kind of do look like
I don't
that,
think.
Logan.
I mean, I think
Yeah, like,
personality.
that.
Part of your personality is your ego, right? Like that. Like I feel like they're kind of the same thing. So if you're gonna have your personality in your clothes, then I don't think it's avoidable.
No. But I think the
Can
thing
I
that
also
is
have it in my body?
the thing that is avoidable
What?
is allowing your ego
What
to
can you
Pers-
have in your body?
My personality. You said I have it in my clothes. So
whatever you put in your body is up to you.
I
But
was
Yeah,
like,
that's up to you, dude.
Can I keep that on me at all times, or does it have to be in my
You can
clothes?
keep it
whatever
on
you
you
be
and you
boofing is up
around
to
you.
you, dog.
Yeah, I boof my personality. Goes straight to the
Well,
dome.
hey, not on this podcast. No boofing
No, dude, you got to boof
While
in the
on
kitchen.
air,
in the kitchen. Wow, literally, just
steps
right where you
away.
eat.
Yeah, bro.
Or where you cook the food, I guess. Maybe not. where
You don't know where I eat.
Not every-
I don't eat in
Typically,
the
my
kitchen.
food does not make it to the table. If I'm cooking for myself, I'm probably eating it standing up in the kitchen.
Yeah, while I'm boofing.
Yeah, while boofing. Yeah. You gotta boof the first bite.
Yeah, I boof laxatives
Camera.
so I can keep eating.
They say camera eats first, but my asshole eats first.
This is why we have no women viewers, guys.
It's okay.
So-
They'll be back.
Sometimes I'll tell that to my tables when I'm working. I'll be like, Instagram eats first. They're
Yeah.
like, ha. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Put your shit down and eat.
And then everyone just gets quiet.
It's not
Standing in
funny,
a
is it?
room, just not even.
I got other tables to have. Get out of here.
I'm not gonna lie, I do hate that like some of my nightmares are just me like stressed out at a serving job. It's like I haven't worked at a serving job
Me
in 2
too, bud.
years. I haven't worked at a serving job in
too.
2 years
Yeah,
though.
it's
and
called
I'm
my
still
life.
having this fucking like trauma experience some nights.
It's some really scary shit. So our bar printer, when a ticket prints out for the well
For the
bartender to
drinks.
make a drink,
Yeah.
it's like you know, like I mean, if you're standing next to it, you hear the zzz, 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 beep, and it's that beeping sound. And I'm usually on well, right? So I hear the beep, but I'll be serving. I'll be a server on the other side of the bar, not even close to the printer, and I could be by the kitchen door, and I will literally just hear beep, and I'm like, And I just turn around and instinctively I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? You're not a bartender. It's like,
Wait,
get out of here.
what drink needs to be? Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's like the most Pavlovian.
One of those things like
that shit is real, dude. If look, fuck Tom Cruise, okay? Psychology is a real science, and there's your proof right there.
Scientology.
Did you say Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks?
Tom Cruise, he's
Oh,
a
okay.
Scientologist.
I was like, wait.
He was famous for saying on whatever late or no, it was like a
No,
the Tonight Show or whatever.
I was like, Tom Hanks is a Scientologist too. I thought that was Tom
Nah,
Cruise.
Tom Cruise was.
No.
Tom Cruise was.
Yeah, Tom
Also,
Cruise.
if you don't tip, fuck you. You don't need to watch this podcast. You suck. Tip. Tip
But-
your servers.
Yeah, you suck the tip.
Tip your
unless you tip.
bartenders.
I'd
Be
say
considerate. Show some compassion and some empathy, you fuckers.
I'd say additionally, you could
20%.
still watch the pod. Just start tipping.
Yeah, tip the podcast.
Argue with yourself.
Yeah, 20% of free is free. So
You're like, why should I have to tip? I don't know. Why should your employer have to pay you? Why don't we just fucking bring back fucking slavery for everyone, huh? Yeah, fuck you. Why don't you tip?
what if you were to get paid hourly? What
Didn't
would
know
you
where you were
want
going with
as
that,
a
but all right.
server?
If I was gonna
What
get
do you
paid
think's
out
fair in Texas, in Houston, Texas?
right now,
Yeah.
I'd take 18.
That
I'm
would be
sure
fair,
you
right?
would, buddy.
With
No,
the option.
no, I mean, no, that's about average. Like,
18
that's,
18 to
maybe even
start.
20 in some restaurants, depending.
Well, like,
you know?
well, look, see, this is the thing.
I think that's the idea, though.
Overseas, they require you to get a degree to learn about like the knowledge of like food and wine and a lot of shit, and they pay their servers like 65 plus K a year.
Right, they're on salary.
No
I-
tips.
And so here's where I'm at.
I don't know if that's every
is that
country, but I'm sure
better?
That's,
Is that
it's a
better
couple.
though?
well,
I mean,
are they
then-
getting benefits? Look, if I get
Yes.
fucking dental with that, yeah, it's better.
Why? Because if like
Because
see,
benefits.
Here's what I'm. But even that is
I mean,
like
a
there's a
lot
lot
of
of people
things-
with benefits. Benefits it doesn't really mean anything unless you have good benefits.
If I get dental, I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people have shitty dental insurance. Is what I'm saying.
Is it hey, you know what's better than you know what shitty dental insurance is better than?
Don't say no dental insurance because that's not true.
Yeah, that's actually not true. I think I remember when the Obamacare thing first came out, I had and I was young, I was like 18, and they were like, oh, now you can get, and of course they had to do the thing where they were like, everybody can get Obamacare, and so we had to do like a whole meeting about it and everything. And straight up, my managers were like, "Do not get it. It's worse than not having insurance."
It's literally
Like,
a
you'll
lot of
end up paying more.
situations.
Like, and
You know that's true.
yeah, and so
a lot of
yeah.
situations that you're paying. So you're paying sometimes monthly, usually biweekly stipend for your insurance. If you have good insurance, that biweekly stipend is not cheap. If you have bad insurance, it's still pretty much not that cheap. I mean, you might have like a little bit higher copay and a higher like fucking deductible, but like that insurance shit is not cheap. So like if you here's where I'm at. If you're talking about dental, if you don't have that much dental work that you need done, you having
You're
dental
kinda fine. Yeah,
insurance,
it varies for
you're,
everybody.
you're paying for almost nothing on a biweekly basis until you actually go use that shit. But
Yeah.
at that rate, you might be saving a couple bucks on the year.
It also wouldn't hurt to do like weekly cleanings and fucking check
Weekly
those.
cleanings isn't a
cleanings?
thing.
Weekly,
The most cleaning somebody gets is 4 times a year,
quarterly.
quarterly. And even that is like, I haven't seen a whole lot of insurances that pay for 4. But
I
regardless,
think
my
I
po-
used to when I was younger.
regardless, the point is that like, I forgot how we got to this. My point is that like, it's not that
Tip your servers.
it's not that simple because
bartenders.
I think like if there was a server or bartender making more than 65K, they'd be like, yo, what the fuck? I don't want this just like insurance, like this little insurance to make me feel like I'm taking my pay cut and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like I went to school for this shit and now I'm making less money. Like there's people that would
I feel
probably
like you're
have
more
that
angry
mentality.
than I would be.
No, not angry. I'm just saying that like in that conversation, it's like,
is true,
is
though.
it better or is it just like a trade off? You know, that's kind of where I'm
Yeah,
at.
it's
That's
definitely. I mean,
true.
yeah, I guess it really
That's fair.
depends situational for everybody at that point.
Everybody,
Real,
yeah.
honestly.
Because I mean, a lot of these things like
But that cushion, that safety cushion, that
Yeah.
knowledge of
That
that
net.
assurance
that net.
that it is
Knowledge.
there, the job
Knowledge is
safety is
power.
like, I mean, I bet you their turnover rates at restaurants in other parts of the world are not what they are here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's not people going from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant working. You know, it's they like, I mean, they probably settle into the job a lot more if that's the case.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
then,
then,
I mean-
eventually the service is probably maybe better because they settled
Yeah,
into
you
the
build
job.
rapport. Yeah, probably like better standing with the guests and stuff, and then
More knowledge.
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 Is power.
God
Knowledge.
damn, we
Gotta get that. Dude, I want that on a shirt. We're making, honestly, if I'm making any shirts, it's gonna be a
Knowledge.
knowledge shirt. It's gonna be like
Fine and dandy on the back.
knowledge. Because you know what's important?
Fine and dandy.
That knowledge.
That's true.
Also,
the more
I'll-
you learn,
The more you yearn.
The more you
earn.
stern.
Yep. I'm gonna take this moment to. I did it early in the thing we did the last time before. We had fuck ups, but
Yeah, Cole.
Yeah, sorry guys.
but
I
if
kicked
you
over a cord and the whole thing just was fucked after that.
Yeah, if there's any critiques that you guys have, any suggestions, any things you want to talk to us about, we were thinking about maybe adding some segments into the podcast. Maybe doing live chats was
Live
an
chats,
idea.
that was
Live
yeah.
chat. If there's any ideas you have, or if you think those are good ideas, let us know. Shoot any of us DMs. You can shoot the Twitter or the Instagram, which the Instagram is so fine, so dandy, or the X or Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's gonna be
Good job, buddy.
Finish from far. I think it's still what that
I
one
think
is.
it is.
Yeah,
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 we need
yeah.
to change that.
May need to change that. But yeah, shoot us a message. Let us know. Tell us what you do like about it. Like what interests you, what keeps you watching, what brings you back as a guest. Should we bring in more guests? Which guests should we bring? Or like, is there anybody you would like to see back on? Any of those things. Just let us know, you guys. We do take that into account. Trying to get better. Trying to, push this forward so we could do more for you guys as well and expand this and make things bigger and better.
I just want to do more for us.
And knowledge.
And knowledge. Yeah.
All about that knowledge.
Yeah. I want to learn about math.
Boof and K. And by that I mean knowledge.
It's right in there, dude.
Knowledge. That big K, knowledge. Little K, big K, medium K.
There's no such thing as a medium K.
Knowledge.
You just named the 3 Ks.
How dare you?
Disappointed in you, bro. Disappointed.
Disappointed but not surprised.
That's probably true.
Nah, but it is crazy. I was thinking about it too. So like, just like waking up every day, like doing stuff like this. I know because we were just talking about like art in general, like kind of setting and creating your audience is a weird thing because you gotta like. I know some people are big on PR, right? Some people are like, you gotta act this way, you gotta look this way. This
Imaging and
is
stuff like that.
and branding, but isn't like being yourself, I think, the best branding.
See, I mean, Bert talked
Wow,
about
dude.
it at one point.
Wow.
Fucking
Wow, just be yourself. Wow, that's some advice we've never heard before.
Okay, going back to going back.
You're a dickhead.
Going back to Matt Rife, so I gotta say this. There was this clip, right, where they were talking about like being a hater. He's like, I just realized. I mean, this isn't word for word, but this is essentially what he said, almost word for word.
Kind of word for word.
I realized that, being a hater is just like me seeing somebody that had something I didn't have, or maybe got an opportunity I wasn't able to get, and like I felt like I deserved. And I just realized, hating somebody is just usually like you're jealous that they have something you don't have. I mean, someone's like, wow, that's really profound. Like the girl was like, I never thought of that. She's like, do you think that people hate Bin Laden because they're jealous of him?
And she was reacting to his stand-up?
Yeah.
No, she was reacting to
in
him
front of
because he was
him.
the one that was
It was
saying
on
the
a
hater.
podcast.
He was
Oh,
saying
yeah,
the
yeah,
hater
yeah.
thing. They were on a
Yeah.
podcast, and he was saying like that whole spiel, and she was like, wow.
She's
Yeah, I'm just
funnier
really
than
thinking.
he is.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
She was like, I was really just thinking about it. She was like, what a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really good. Never heard that one before. You fucking.
Right.
So what about Osama bin Laden?
Yeah. Okay, that girl's funny. I kind of want to know about her. She's she sounds
I forgot
funny.
whose pod it was, but I just saw the clip, but that shit.
Classic.
But
clips.
Bert talked
World of
about
clips.
that though, like the idea that when you're trying to be something that you think that people want to see, then you might be able to find success through it, but what he was saying is I didn't truly find my success until like I let go of all that shit and was just who I was. Like for a long time I was a comedian who was doing all this shit to try to like show out for people, but now that I'm just the guy that I enjoy being and I've always enjoyed being, people love me even more, and I didn't really expect that type shit. That's kind of what that is. It's like once you kind of like drop the mask and just show people who you truly are, people will respect that genuinity, and it's
I think
to a
so.
degree.
I think
Yeah.
so. You're saying that about Matt Rife, though?
No, I was talking about Bert, because he said something about.
Right.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, because I was thinking about it, just especially with now throwing events, doing this. My brain was just fried.
Yep.
But it's
Stupid
kind of
fried.
it's kind of like constantly doing these things. There's a point where sometimes you're like, damn, why am I? Like, I know why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? But like, you got so much going on. You're like, like something that like, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I doing the right stuff? And especially like, Spotify Rap just happened too, and there's a lot of artists right now that comparing numbers. Like, people are like, oh, my Spotify Rap, and they think it's this cool thing, but then it's like this metric to compare yourself to others.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it. I mean, when you boil it down, it's like, look how good I did this year.
I mean, at the end of the day, I always thought that shit was like, while being, I guess, like a quote unquote cool feature, it's very pretentious. Like, who cares what you listen to this year? Why do you need to see a review of it? Type shit. Like,
so I got a couple friends that did it. I get why they did it. I'm not gonna do it, but
I never posted. I like to look to just be like, oh, damn, what was
I don't even know how to look at it. I didn't look at mine, but I wanted
it's on
to
the app.
because I saw it.
You just gotta pull up the app, and it's on like.
It's like a notification.
No, you just like when you open the app, it's like a banner.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
damn,
kind of
I might have
ridiculous for me though.
accidentally exited out of it.
I use YouTube Music way more, so it's like Spotify is all the stuff that I like wasn't really listening to on YouTube Music. It's like two.
I mean, I just use
funny.
Spotify for like one playlist. It's called Mellow Bars. It's like a fucking like almost like not even-
Lo-fi.
No, it's still like hip hop and rap and R&B, but it's more like underground like stuff on a certain vibe. It's like very like lyrical and like kind of lo-fi beats to a degree, but
Kind of jazzy-ish, like.
kind of
So you
jazzy,
use
some like
iTunes.
saxophone. I use iTunes for everything else.
Really?
Yeah.
Use
So
Apple
you still
Music?
use Apple Music.
Apple Music, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I hate Apple
You're probably.
Music.
I think
It's
you might
free.
be, and I'm not even hating on you. I just think you might be the only person I know that uses.
It's free for my cuz through my package or whatever with my cell phone. So I mean, I'm not going to pay for anything
Damn, I
else.
didn't know they even did
It's the
that.
same music
That's
on
kinda
everything
crazy.
else. I mean,
We'll say YouTube Music is the best. I don't care.
I
Well,
will
'cause
say
YouTube
that like
Music has everything because you just have to upload it to YouTube.
I would
It's
say
just-
And everything's uploaded to YouTube.
They get less money per stream. Artists do.
the only reason that
Well, that kind of sucks for the artist.
the only reason that I don't have like a dog in the fight in the music app game is because I'm very much a casual when it comes to music. I'm 0% like worried about the curation of a playlist or how the algorithm works or how it. I don't give
You
a fuck
enjoy
about
music.
any of that.
You enjoy music, but you're maybe not like a music person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I listen to much more podcasts.
Right.
Much more.
That's
like
fair.
probably like 90 to 90-10 easily.
That's where I'm at right now. I have a couple different podcasts. I've got like an occult confessions podcast I listen to, and I honestly wanted to shout them out because they're really good. They do good shit, and they don't do any profit, so you have to donate for them to do it. And they're funny, and they
Mhm.
just go through like just the weirdest stuff. They go through all these like folklore things and like they did one that what was it I mean, they've gone through Scientology.
Do they get like
they've gone
specific
through,
about it and shit?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Every
fuck
episode.
yeah.
And the dude's he's a professor in something like theology or something like that. But yeah, they go like that's where I learned that the Jack Parsons dude that invented rocket fuel was an occult scientist. Like he would do rituals and he was super into magic and all that stuff. But he was a legitimate scientist,
Hmm.
and then of course the whole time they're talking about it, they're just like laughing at it because they don't believe any of it. They just made the podcast for it.
Right, they're just going
And
for
it's
it type shit.
super entertaining. So shout out to them.
You know who
People should
Jason
listen
Love
to
is?
that. Who is it?
Jason Love.
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen?
Who's where's he from? Fucking
Lansing.
Oh, he's on Midnight Gospel.
Wait, for real? Oh, he is one of the. He's the magic guy.
Yeah.
The fishbowl head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Jason
one of
Love's
the
like
episodes. He's the feature.
the fishbowl head guy.
Yeah,
I
he's
haven't watched.
basically-
I haven't watched it since the show came out. Since his
I
series came out.
he's it's the one. It's the
I wish
one
he would
where
do it again.
It's
though.
about magic though. It's about like magic with a K.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like the rituals and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like he's big into that, and he talks.
That's
Like
cool.
alchemy and things.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
know. I remember. I mean, I've seen every episode of Midnight. But I wish he would do it again. Like he would do
You
another
know,
season of it. No, I know, and honestly, it probably would not be as good.
I think it would.
I think
You
it would be
think
better.
so?
I think it would be better because it's like what they did was set the table, and like you said earlier, it's like whenever there's a certain expectation, it might add a little bit more pressure. But they also had that success level to like get nothing but good reviews on all accounts.
Duncan
So like,
It was
Russell's one-
so deep. Like,
It's
it was
also
so
Pendleton
profound.
Ward.
Honestly, every
Exactly.
episode was so
But
profound.
you gotta
It's like,
understand,
I don't know.
Duncan Tressell's one of those people. Is like you never see him like I have to do something.
No,
feel
he
like he
does what he
speak-
wants to
I
do.
feel like he speaks
and
from
I
the
respect
soul.
it. I absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
He's never like
Definitely.
on a rush to like I gotta be putting this out or do this thing.
But even
Out of
that
all-
is like, but that doesn't mean that he's not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I don't just because I guess where I'm coming from is that I'm hoping that he is working on a season 2, because just because he doesn't feel the pressure to do it doesn't mean that he doesn't see this as a
Yeah, he'll do it
beautiful
when he feels
avenue
like
to
it.
get these messages out.
Yeah.
Because while he still has his podcast, he's still a comedian, he's still talking to people that are his audience. This was a way for him to build that audience into like something that is almost like an empire, using the empire that Pendleton Ward has already built and all of these beautiful messages to create this thing, and being able to have like a storyline and fucking cool animations that add into it that are
it's really
unique. It's like
interesting.
they created a fucking avenue with that. Now you can animate podcasts and make it interesting.
Yeah,
that is something that
crazy how he
didn't
would just,
really
He'd
exist.
literally just be walking, and like half of it just didn't make any type of sense. But
Right.
when it, like when they needed a visual representation of something, it was
It would
not
pop up.
what you know what I mean. It's not what it is. Like the guest is always some like and I don't know what. I don't know how they did it, but the guest always he'd be like, "What are you?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm a," and you would see it in the animation, right?
There was like certain
And they're like,
points
"I'm
that where they
just
would cut
a,"
in.
you
and
know,
it would have,
you're like, like it's so.
it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I loved that whole thing for
Also,
sure.
kind of side note, I just realized recently. So, kind of thinking about like how he did that, right? So Jeffrey Osmus just recently, well, not like the super recent, but pretty recent, on YouTube released an album, but it's just like clips of like stand up, like 12 clips, but he released it as an album.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like songs.
I feel like
but not songs.
old comedians
like an
songs.
album,
You
like
used to
track after
buy-
track type thing.
You used to be able to buy a compilation of
Yeah.
comedians, like bits on CD, and
That's
it
kinda
wouldn't be the whole thing all the way through. Sometimes it was just their like individual bits
What
compilated.
if we did like an album,
But that's not
Christmas album?
Oh
I-
man,
It's so here's where I'm at. I'm not against it, but that's not like original, because I mean, what Jeffrey
'Cause
Osmus
Christmas.
did was just kind of put a bunch of different were they video clips or just like clips?
Just
Audio.
sound
You think
bites.
we should
Oh,
do
so
a
then that's
Hanukkah
just like
album?
an album. That's just like any comedy album. Every comedy special is typically also a comedy album.
Oh, really?
Most of them, not in today's world, but that's how what used to be. It's how it
90s.
always was.
90s.
Like it used to be comedy records.
That's kind of sick. I
So
did
like
not know
it would
that.
be like a record player instead of buying like
And you
a
could just
album.
listen to
would
it.
be a comedy album. So like I don't remember who depicted it, but I don't know if it was Everybody Hates Chris. It was some like one of those shows on Nickelodeon, like late night type shit that was like set back in the 90s or whatever. But it was like a set of records, and there was like records set to the side, like don't touch those, like talking to the kids type shit. So like those were like fucking Red Fox albums, and like these comedians that were known for being dirty, and like it's like, yo, don't touch those, like we don't want you to hear those bad words and shit like that. But like that's what it was. It used to be like not watching a special, hearing a special on the record player type shit.
What was his name? He would talk about all the guy. His hair was always slicked back. He was older whenever we were young. He was
Pryor?
already-
Jeff Foxworthy.
No,
Richard Pryor?
he was in Scary Movie 3. He's whenever she walks into the room with all the TVs, it's making fun of the Matrix, and he's like, "I've been watching you."
Oh, fucking
He's all, but his jokes were about like real ass world problems.
Oh, you talking about George Carlin?
Yeah, George Carlin. His were all on CD and record, and they were albums, for sure.
He had visual
He did by the way,
specials
but he
as
was
well,
older.
but
So
those were
like,
all
when he was
albums,
younger,
yeah.
it was all albums that came out.
Well, I can't speak to say that like all of like the ones that came out this year are all available as like a listening album, but I will say if I had my phone, I could tell you that like on Apple Music they have a like spot for comedy like albums.
That's cool then.
Right.
Yeah, Nick Schwartzen does a lot of like audio stuff.
It's also
He's pretty
like
funny, honestly.
arguably harder to make an audio album because there's a lot of comedy that's very like physical, like facial expressions and hand movements and gestures and things like that. So without those, you're just listening, and that makes it more about the material and the comedy than the stage presence, like we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, but to wrap it back around was like I guess finding like your niche audience. I don't know. I guess doing anything you love in life, it's weird. I don't know. I've been waking up every day recently, thinking about it, and just feel like maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people have that pressure now because everything's become so capitalistic. I mean, it's always kind of been like that. Like even back in the day, you know, like bands and stuff. But I feel like back then, you know, like if you were an artist, you pretty much had the idea, and I'm not any money for a very long time.
Yes.
Whereas now people are like, dude, I can make money. What do I need to do? Like, how do I need to fit into whatever?
People
I
are
need to fit
monetizing moments in today's world. People are
Yes.
finding a way to make this moment they had on the internet a career for themselves.
Oh
Whether
yeah,
you're talking
I
about
think
like
they've been doing that
the
for a while though, because they've monetized nostalgia.
that's true.
That's why
too.
they keep coming out with all these. That's
So
that's
the
where the
cyclical
superhero
nature.
movies come from, and and the remakes and the sequels
Yeah,
that we
that's
don't
why they have
need.
those Ray Bans
We don't need
that
them.
they're gonna have. The
Oh, you talking
fucking meta Ray Bans that they're
Yeah.
gonna
I've
have
already
to
seen
where
them. Somebody tried to sell them to me while I was at work the other day.
I remember you
I
tell
was-
me like
yeah.
I just want you like I'm just
Did
looking
they
at
work?
sunglasses.
Yeah, I was
Wait,
like,
did
I
they
just
work?
want to look around. Please stop. Like,
Wait, did they work?
no,
Oh.
I'll never. I'll never. Well,
No,
I'm not gonna
I don't
say
think
never. I'll give
he-
it a try.
I don't think he
maybe at some
tried 'em.
point.
Oh, okay.
No,
He said it didn't work on him to
yeah,
buy
no.
him.
I was like
Oh,
she was
gotcha.
talking. The girl that worked there was talking to me, and I was just like, "Look, I'm not the person that you want to talk to about this. Like, you're talking."
But
about
that's
the
gonna
wrong
be
guy."
selling moments even harder because you're
Oh,
gonna be like,
you won't have to go to the concert.
Yeah,
You
no.
don't gotta go to the concert. You can see
Especially
the whole
with
fucking
VR,
thing
when
on
the meta,
30
like-
different
Hey, you know what's
sets of sunglasses.
You know what's crazier than that? The artists don't have to go to the concert.
Literally,
They can perform at home.
Literally.
They can set up their
Oh,
stage
yeah.
in their living room and just walk back and forth in their living room and do all their movements and have virtual AI background
They made a
dancers.
Black
It's like,
Mirror episode about that.
you don't need to fucking rent out a stadium to make a fucking
What would be cool
stadium
is to
concert.
have the band members in a live setting wear the glasses. You know what I mean? So on
like
the
be
screen,
in different
you can
locations,
see them
but
looking at you. You know, and because that would probably be I would say would be a cool experience. Because not everyone will experience
Yeah,
that.
but what I'm saying
and
is
you
like
can't buy a ticket to that.
the VR, the meta.
That's true.
Once you're able to put that on, I'm sure if you buy a ticket or buy whatever like package they allow you to, it'll probably give you every perspective. Like if there's multiple people who goes on, it'll allow you to access
Well,
multiple points of the. You can be in this side of the audience. You can pinpoint this part of the audience.
Exactly.
that's more of like a hive mind type of thing. You know what I mean? Like once you're on that connection, then you have the availability to like feed into any connection on that.
No, you'll still have
server.
to pay more to be closer, even though it's virtual.
Absolutely, but the but the point is
You
that
think
like,
so?
yeah.
Oh, I
for
know
sure.
so for sure. Come on,
That'd be-
they're
that'd
gonna
be
they're gonna capitalize on anything they can make the extra buck off of.
I mean, that's why a court side seat is more expensive than a nosebleed. It's not because you get to fucking hug the players. It's
Yeah.
just because it's a closer view.
You'll be able to be part of the Q&A for the band that people got their ticket, those special tickets where you get to go sit in the back and be in a Q&A with the band. You can pay for that, and then you'll also be able to pay to be part of the Q&A and ask the questions. So then they'll separate that into two separate things instead of having the one premium ticket where you get to do the Q&A. Instead, it'll be two. You could be there at the Q&A and listen in on it, but you can't ask questions. Then they'll have the even more premium ticket where now you get to ask the questions as well as listening in on the Q&A.
And then the
They're
top
gonna,
tier
they're gonna
ticket.
separate it into so many different things that microtransactions, dude. We've already
And
seen
then
it.
the
with
top
video
tier
games,
ticket
and it'll
is
just
a
continue.
behind the scenes where you get to have a virtual band like practice with the band of choice, where like everyone puts on their fucking headset and you're in there fucking with them and they're rocking out and you're like, oh, what song should we play, guys?
I mean,
That would be
microtransactions out the
hilarious.
wazoo.
But yes, I
It's
mean,
gonna be microtransactions out the wazoo, just like
It's
they
gonna
have for
be-
Call of Duty, like where you buy the packages and you get whatever they give you. It's gonna be that times 30.
think the cameo shit, like where actors can just like sell their own cameos online. So you can just pay me $500 and I'll show up and say, "Happy birthday, Ryan. This is fucking Charles Barkley, and I think
That's a
the
new
round
low
mound to
for
rebound
artists.
things."
That's a new low for artists.
Yes, but that's gonna get worse in the way that like
Yeah.
it's gonna get worse to where it's like I can just do whatever. It's like
FaceTime them. Do 30 FaceTimes a day. Just do 30
Right.
FaceTimes a day. Adele, and you're gonna that's gonna be 30 grand that we make. You get
Or-
5 of that.
or how far
The
away are
producer
we
gets
from
the 25?
how far away are we from virtual signatures and autographs that are like locked on the blockchain or whatever type
I mean,
shit?
that's NFTs already.
I mean, yes, but what
See,
I'm
that's what
saying
I'm
is like to a point where an artist can hold a virtual meet and greet and you get a virtual autograph
Yeah, we're
from
not
that
that
virtual meet and
Exactly.
greet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like right now, because I've always been like, you know how I've been about it. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, that's stupid. There's no physical like value to them. Like, yeah, right now, no one gives a shit. But when everyone's, I don't got to go anywhere. Throw this bitch on. I could sit in my room and do whatever all day. That's when that shit will start to have value, because then people are gonna be so immersed in whatever the transactions are that's going on in this fucking world. That's
But even that,
kind
it's
of
like,
reality, augmented reality.
not to get into it fully, but the still issue that I have with that is that the value is still based on like your value, and you're projecting that your value matches up with other people's type shit. So if you spend $65,000 on this NFT, it's probably not worth it today. It might be worth it in 10 years, but is it going to be worth $65,000?
Yeah, but values will
or is it going to
regulate
be
as
worth-
like
or if we're even working
values
in
will,
dollars at that
like
point.
just like any other market, they'll eventually like even out and like regulate themselves as like fucking people start to use the shit more, you know?
Yes, but it's
So-
like the value could depreciate so greatly to where people still utilize them, but the only people that are catching like the like problems are the people that bought in early. You know what I mean? Like where you spent all this money on all this shit and it's actually not worth
I'm gonna
that
be this
much.
guy. What is NFT?
A non-fungible token. It is something that is
To- I'll
not existent but existent at the
I'll
same
explain
time.
it. I'll explain it. So
Like
essentially,
money.
Sure.
yes. No, see, this is what I okay. Look, so essentially, it's digital. It's mostly pretty much all
Are
digital.
you just implying digital currency? Is what we're saying NFTs are?
To a degree,
No.
but it's digital. It's
You can-
digital art that it acts as digital currency.
So, well, it can. Digital currency is used to buy NFTs.
Right.
Essentially, you can use it depending on whatever they use. Like some people have created their own digital currency by some of their things. Like at this point, some people are building their own virtual worlds
Mhm.
where they have like
no.
Yes.
So that you can buy certain packages, right? Which will like if you buy certain NFT packages, like it'll unlock like certain like
There's
exclusive-
real world experiences that can be unlocked through the
And
blockchain.
This
that-
is stressing me
and
out.
also exclusive like
Uh-huh.
package like there's exclusive packages that'll come with certain purchases or like unreleased stuff that you can get through that. Also like virtual tees, virtual like
Virtual
artwork.
tees. Virtual.
Virtual
No, I know what you mean,
t-shirts.
but like virtual for who? Who's wearing it
Your avatar.
on
The
Meta
virtu-
specifically?
yeah.
Like it
Well,
most of this
whichever
takes
one.
place on Meta. I'm
It's
assuming.
gonna eventually. The whole idea is in the future.
Well, the whole idea.
So it's
what you're
banking,
asking
it's
is
seriously
Meta
banking
Facebook.
on something. Like
A lot
it's
of-
really, which more than likely will happen, obviously.
Yeah,
but it's
you know.
still all just banking on that.
Yes.
No, because
yes.
I actually am not 100% on that stuff. I think shit could go south before it gets a chance to happen.
I think that's
Like, and I
so-
mean south by
so
southwest. Fucking no.
Okay.
Austin, Texas.
No. I mean, like shit could really go south before that gets a chance to happen, or I think there's a really good chance that, a lot of
think-
laws are going to be put into place
I think it's
that it
more
won't
so.
have a chance to happen.
I think it's more so not like it's not like it's not an inevitability for those things to have their own place. I think it's more so a situation where we're not properly prepared for what that is, and
Yeah.
we're not allowing ourselves to function with the idea that a lot has to happen to get to that place.
Oh, 100%.
And in the way that like say I don't know, because it's hard to say, because like Facebook, whenever it first started, it was just like a on campus type of thing, and then it blew up to what it is today. But at the same time, there's a lot of other things that blew up and then fell off the face of the earth. So
I don't
it's
see it falling off personally, but also
I guess what I was trying to say is that without it falling off, is there a viability that it is just niche? It doesn't have to fall off, but it's just niche enough to where most of this was like a overreaction.
potentially. But there's also another side that you don't see also. So for instance, there's
I gotta take a
like
piss, I'll be right back.
for artists in general. So like,
Mhm.
have you heard of Patreon?
Of course.
So like Patreon, Bandcamp, right?
Right.
You could buy people's songs or whatever. So essentially, like what you could do is if you were to make a song and you wanted to sell it as an NFT, you would essentially release it as the same thing. It's just right now it's so expensive to buy into a lot of this stuff. Hopefully at some point, that like balances out and it's a little bit cheaper and the gas fees and stuff are a little bit lower. But if they do make it a little bit more accessible for the majority, essentially where to sell your song for a certain price, right? And it could be unreleased, one of a kind. Like if you're like a certain artist, you want to release something out. If they want to resell that or like sell it to somebody else or whatever the case may be, you can set it up because of the way the blockchain works. The blockchain is just the system that like regulates everything. Like so if they were to resell it, you still get a percentage of profit off. So there's a setup for a lot of artists now, which
Where they can make more money.
to where it's like, because like think about it, if you have a painting, right,
Okay.
and you were to sell it for 10,000, but someone else is like, yeah, dude,
You can sell it limitlessly.
you go or your value appreciates due to something that's happening, and they're like, I'm gonna sell this piece of art for $300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that if it's like a painting, you don't get any of that appreciated value.
Yeah.
But if you were to sell it on the blockchain, and you set up a percentage or whatever it is, if they resell it for more,
Truly monetizing art to its maximum.
you get
capacity.
the artist gets the percentage of that.
Yeah.
And if that person resells it for that, you still get a percentage
That's
of that.
scary.
And if they just keep reselling it, you still, as the artist, continuously get percentages of whatever the resell.
That's scary.
See, but I guess another thing that I
For what
have
reason?
thought about that, what's scary about that, in my opinion, is that like at what end or to what extent? Because like, do you have to have a certain amount of legal things set up to where you're getting all of those things, or is it an automatic thing? If it is an automatic thing, what happens when you die? How
Also,
does
you
that
can
work?
always-
Like,
there's always with technology, there's always ways to work around things. Because
gotta be
they're-
loopholes.
the dude that's selling it for more doesn't want to give away any percentage of that, and they will find a way to keep all of it.
Especially if
and
that
not give it to the
dude-
artist. Like there will be a roundabout way to do it, guaranteed.
especially if that dude is a billion-dollar corporation that has all the lawyers and all the ways to make laws in their favors and type shit.
And
like that,
that's
you know what I mean?
and that's not that crazy because that just brings us back to square one of okay, so the guy that sold the painting and then somebody else sold it for even more later. He didn't get a penny of that. So
No,
that's
but the way the blockchain's set up is to like it would directly go.
That's my point.
But-
Is that do you have to set precautions
Beforehand.
Or does,
It's all before you put out the art,
Do
and then
you-
it has to get
do
like.
you know if that's across the board? That's kind of where I'm asking is like, does a person in the same way like a musician cannot get their proper royalties off of a song? Do you have to make sure like your paperwork and everything is in the proper order as an NFT artist to
An
be
AI
able to
will do
get
that
that
for you.
blockchain or
an
against
AI will
you
do that for you
or
at
against
the,
you?
at the
Well, yeah, I mean, you basically
Thank
you,
you.
you basically just click all the stuff and then it does it. But it takes a process and you have to pay to even produce the art. There's a thing called a gas fee, which is essentially the price of admission in order to even distribute your art.
yeah.
That sound see like
It's
whenever
just-
you talk about that portion of it too is like that brings in the scam part of it.
The
to
meta
me.
is gonna own the
Where
piece
I'm like,
of art. The meta
oh,
is
so
gonna
all
own
these-
the piece of art.
all
You
these
don't
people
own
are
it. That's what that gas is for. Like
all these people are spending all this money on gas fees to get NFTs out there, and if there is no true return on any of that, then that's
Oh,
just
the
a
gas fees
big
Ethereum has
money-
been called out for that actually.
because it's like the main portion of it is people are worried that it's just a big money laundering thing,
Yeah.
right?
probably
To a
I was gonna
degree.
say, yeah, no, they
Probably.
do. No, a lot of people do. All I was gonna say is like, I mean, in general, I've been saying is just like I feel like life has been reduced to moments, to
Diminished.
dollars, to a number. Everything has been reduced to just numbers and what the value of that is, instead of just creating things because it feels good to create things or create things out of the pure joy of what it may. Theirs are themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we see real progress and it just kind of like it diminishes everything to something that we all don't want to see, but we're all kind of like boxed into a point where we all are kind of doing it. And it just is like when you wake up one day, you're like, I want to do this because I just want to do this. And a lot of people don't really have that anymore.
Well, I think I don't think like. I think what it comes down to is that I don't think it's just life has been reduced to moments and everything like that. It's just like life has been reduced to serotonin, and moments can give you spikes of serotonin. Like money is also serotonin. That's another form of serotonin, but also moments. But money can buy moments. You know, it can buy you that one crazy thing that happened because you had the money to be able to do it or whatever. But I think it's just serotonin currency that's basically just going on.
You're
honestly.
not wrong.
And serotonin is not the essence of life. It's not. Like your happiness is not the essence of life at all.
It's a chemical that we experience, but at the end of the day, it's like you're not wrong in the way that it definitely has that feeling of like we aren't worried about the money, we aren't worried about the time or anything. We're worried about like that release, that imbalance, that thing that makes us feel better. So like when you're having a bad day, it's like, all right, well, I could just get a beer tonight. It's like, well, maybe you could experience this bad day without that alcohol.
Well, and it's so that would kind of go into what I'm saying of like serotonin, like the happy parts are not the point of life. Like they're just they're not, and they're great, sure, yeah, they're great, but I mean, you never forget the way you felt whenever someone you cared about passed away. You never forget that moment. You'll never forget being at the funeral.
Right.
You'll never forget any of that because it's
it's
almost like
there.
enjoyable doesn't seem like the right word. But it is a form of enjoyment because it's a form of appreciation for the person or for the bad thing that happened. It's a form of appreciation, even though it's not happiness, it's not laughter, it's not in that, but it is a form of appreciation. And I think that appreciation is maybe the more important part of life. And appreciation can come across in happiness, sadness, whatever. They're all different forms of appreciating something, right? Or appreciating being alive.
On that same note, I think I've said something along the lines before in the past. I might, if I'm repetitive, then I really don't care. But my dad told me this thing whenever I was like going through one of my I think it was my first like major breakup type shit, and I was like crying my eyes out. He was just like trying to console me, but basically like what he said, it didn't console me at the time, but it's something that has stuck with me to this day. Where it's like basically what he says is appreciate the tears coming out of your eyes right now, because as much as it hurts to be experiencing what you're experiencing right now, this is a human moment. This sadness is a human experience. It's a human
100%.
emotion.
Yeah.
Be glad that you're a person that has the ability and the breath in his lungs to be able to experience this human moment.
Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
That, and also appreciate the sadness, because like you said, it's not about the serotonin. Life isn't always supposed to be happy. There isn't a rule book that says things are supposed to go well.
No, definitely not.
Life is what
in
life
fact, I
is
would
what
say
it
quite
is.
the opposite. There's rule books about how it really doesn't
Shitty
go
it's
well and
supposed to
it's
be.
not supposed to.
We've actually talked about it on previous, like
We definitely have touched on it before.
No,
yeah.
but before you joined on the podcast, was just like, there are like societies out there that believe like the world is built on chaos. Like chaos is the purest form
Foundation.
of order.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore for different stories and different mythologies and stuff like that. That is definitely. And they all say like chaos is a form of creation. Like you have to destroy to be able to create.
I mean, not to continue bringing up Marvel movies, but I mean that's like every Marvel or DC or whatever villains like.
I think it's a
portfolio.
I think it's
really
a human
is
psychology thing because it's also in religious texts too. You know, you have you have the flood so you can build a new world. You empires fall so a better one can
destroy
rise,
the economy so there can be one
new world power,
new world order,
new world order.
No, I mean,
destroy
like a
it,
ministry
then
song over here.
destroy and then rebuild, dude. That's a band.
That destroy and rebuild until God shows.
Yeah, that's what it's drugs.
Yep. That is a good band though.
Okay.
That is a good
I
band.
was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Drug and rebuild until God shows.
Drug and rebuild?
destroy and rebuild.
Drug.
No, Daniel's mind
Needles
is on
for
something
everybody,
else.
but it's okay because we're gonna rebuild.
Yeah,
Just do your heroin and sit there like a homeless fuck.
yeah. I think that's what he was doing for a while.
Honestly, though, if you think about it, like if you were, like, it's not good in the public's eyes and probably not good for your body. But like if you're doing heroin constantly, you're fighting your own. You know, you're like in a whole nother world. You're a superhero.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I feel
Well,
like a
I was
superhero.
gonna say, yeah, it's not good in the public's eyes for sure.
You're doing side quests. You're the true wizard of the world, dude. You're like, you're the true hobbit. You're the hobbits. You're the fucking going on quests.
Didn't Tommy get inducted into a wizard group?
Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's
they
a-
call it clan. And they wear the pointy
Okay.
hats too. That's brutal.
Okay, Tommy's
That's brutal.
Are they
Tommy's a
from
minority.
Waverly
He'll-
Place?
he'll be all right.
Sorry.
What?
I said, are they from Waverly Place? Sorry.
yeah, they're wizards though, and they have custom wizard hats made.
That's pretty sweet.
With their names
Did he already get
engraved
his
and
hat?
everything, or
Did he already
like
get the hat?
No, he hasn't yet. He got put in the group chat. I don't know if he's been.
Thomas the
Cat.
Brave?
Do they have a formal induction that they do later?
Hopefully they. Yeah,
Like where
they
they
beat him.
Knight you with a sword? That'd be
Knight
really
you with
cool.
their
It sounds-
cock.
They beat him with a sword.
This is why we don't get women listeners. Maybe we
No,
should
my
just
mom
re-
listens to this podcast.
I was gonna say you
Oh,
keep
shit.
saying that, but I think all the
Yeah,
people
my
that
mom-
I,
my
that
mom
I
definitely
actually
listens to
know
the
that
podcast.
listen to this are for females.
Hey, dude. Okay, I'm just going
Daniel
by the
wants
statistics
it
that.
to be men.
No, I'm giving you the
Daniel likes whenever
statistics
men
that are
listen to
given
him.
to me on the analytics.
But even what is that analytics? Because like my YouTube account is actually my niece's account. So
Got
like
'em.
I am a female on YouTube because I use her account.
Tell us.
Exactly. Trying to tell you that I don't watch our show.
I'm actually a woman on the account that I don't use for the show. I just thought I would bring that up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see my cock right now, dude, if you'd like.
I'm just saying though. We should. Our
Let me
se-
go
our-
get it.
How about this? Our segments are gonna be our whiskey segment. We just do segments on whiskey.
Hi guys, I'm
whiskey
Andrew
segments.
Santino, and this
We
is
could do a
Whiskey
whiskey
Ginger.
segment. What if we started every episode off with a whiskey?
I'd be down for that.
But
the
we
same
could go
whiskey.
find the worst whiskeys we could possibly find.
Don't do
Or
that.
what
Or
if
we challenge each other.
Yeah.
Wines. We
to
could do
find the
wines.
worst
Or what if it
whiskeys.
was this? We do whatever whiskey, and it's just like every once in a while, somebody brings, but no
Like a
one's tried it,
Ruppelmans or
and
something?
somebody brings in just a bullshit ass horrible whiskey. But you have to hype it up. You gotta be like, no, this one's good for sure. And then we all taste it in front of the camera, and it's just like, God damn.
Or
Or
like-
we could do good ones.
No, it would mostly be good ones, but just every once
No,
in a while,
no, no, no,
somebody's
no, no.
like,
I'm with the bad ones idea.
Can we do wine too? I like wine.
I like wine. You
I
We
would
can do
shit
wine
on
more.
too.
Honestly, I
You're
like
shitting
wine much more than whiskey.
tequila? Shit.
What?
I like wine much more than whiskey.
All right.
I mean,
Alright.
honestly, what I was telling him is that, like, because he was saying for the potluck or white elephant, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
What day is that? This Friday?
That's
Yeah.
this Friday, yeah. He was saying that we should get like a bottle of whiskey, like a nice bottle of whiskey to pass
Also
around
white
for
elephant.
everybody. And I was like, I mean, I don't really give a fuck because all whiskey tastes the same to me, and I'm willing to take the backlash on that. But so like, whenever
Yes.
somebody's like, "Oh no, this is some higher end whiskey," the only difference I experience is the lack of hangover. Literally,
It depends
You don't
also.
experience the difference in the flavor? Smooth
At all.
Smoothness?
First of all,
Mm.
Pappy's overrated. If anyone,
Pappy Van Winkle?
if anyone's like Blanton's or Pappy's, they're just name dropping because they don't know shit.
Hey,
That's
I've
fact.
heard
Blanton's
Blanton's is good,
definitely
though.
good whiskey.
I was gonna say I've heard Blanton's is really good.
It is good.
Daniel's
You're
just
saying it's
being
not
a
worth the
hipster.
price?
I thought I was the
I'm
designated
saying
hipster.
it is middle of the road. It's not bad. It is good. I'm just saying most of the time if someone's like Pappy's and Blanton's is the fucking
So it's like Drake. It's like everybody knows it, but it's not the best whiskey.
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Pappy's is good if you're not charging 40 a shot for it.
Oh, yeah. That, well,
Like it's good.
Bro, I remember.
I wouldn't
that's
pay
how the
40
restaurants
for
make
it.
their money. That's not.
Bro,
Nobody's
I remember
buying
my
it for
first
that
night
at
on the
liquor store.
floor. I remember my first night on the
So
floor
hard
at
to get
Whiskey
it
Cake. I remember my first night on the Florida Whiskey Kick. I had like a party of 6, and like all 6 dudes were fucking ordering Blanton's Old Fashions, and I was like, this makes no fucking sense to me.
That's rich people that didn't actually find out what taste was, like good taste. We have I'm not gonna say who they are, but we got some friends that they were at an event in Mexico, and one of them, and of course these people grew up rich, like these guys are my age, but like they grew up this way.
Yeah.
And one of them was, they were ordering margaritas, and they were like, yeah, give us the 1942. You can charge us extra. It's like, well, first of all, if they're going to charge you extra, you don't have to tell them they can, right?
You can charge
they were
us
in
extra
Mexico.
for the most expensive tequila that you guys have.
They were in Mexico, right?
Don't worry.
And so I believe it was like an event, like a wedding or something. And they were like, yeah, I'll get a margarita with 1942. You can charge us extra. And it's like, bro, it's like, that's you look really dumb. Like you don't look cool at all.
You look stupid.
You look you look really dumb. Like that just shows you have no class, and you just have the money, but not the class.
It's tough though, because I get it. Like some people are like gonna be like, they think that like, oh yeah, I'll take that one, and everyone, they're like, oh, I'm making a big adult money decision here, and you're like, no, dude, 1942.
Why would you put 1942 in
a
anything? You shouldn't put it in anything. You just drink it alone, maybe with an ice chunk. But no, you don't need the ice chunk. Like if you're just one of those people and you really enjoy it that way, maybe it helps you drink it longer because ice starts to melt and so it takes longer to drink the whole thing. Okay, cool. I can maybe get with that. But no, bro, you don't put 1942 in anything. You're not putting in a cocktail or a drink. What are you doing?
You know, we should do a whole episode on shit.
Liquor?
These are the things we should talk about. No, but just like classy, like or class, like things when people are, you know,
things that are fine and
like
dandy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, but no, it is true though. It's like if you go, I'm just for sure. If you're like, yeah, dude, I'll take that $30 whiskey with Coke. Why, dude? Just get the Jack.
Just say you don't like whiskey.
Just get Jim Beam. Get Jim Beam. It's way cheaper. It doesn't. What do you want out of your Coke? You're tasting Coke. You want your Coke to taste more expensive?
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and
I don't
lie
like
and
regular
act
Coke.
like
I like Coke
Coke
only
Zero.
when it has $30 whiskey in it. I don't like. The
Oh my
whiskey.
god.
Just more.
The only one I could, the only whiskey that's a little bit more expensive that I would accept personally, and this isn't everybody, in your whiskey would be TX, because TX is a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit more expensive, but it does almost have a vanilla taste to it. Not vanilla,
Well, the oak should give it a vanilla taste.
but it does have a little. Not all of it though. I mean, any American whiskey is
It's also a
hard oak
different-
barrels.
You would agree there's
mean-
also a difference between expensive whiskey and expensive whiskey at a restaurant.
Yeah, definitely 100%. That's what I was saying earlier. Like there's a big difference. Like nobody goes to. You don't pay what you're paying in a restaurant at the liquor store to go buy the bottle. Like that's
Right.
two different things going on there. You're paying for the convenience of it being served to you, and like all that jazz. But restaurants
I
gotta
mean,
make
yeah,
their money.
like Camus at a liquor store, which is Camus.
Who?
Camus is a wine. It's a red.
Oh.
It's a Cabernet.
I was like, that's a whiskey? I've never heard
No,
of it.
Camus is
Okay,
it's
a wine. It's a wine.
red
We
wine.
have it at Maggiano's.
It's like a
good?
$60 bottle, $60 to $70 bottle, at the
we do it about
store.
we do it about $120 at work.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's crazy.
The restaurant has to make their money off of it.
Yeah, no, I know.
At
the markup
Perry's
on
is a
alcohol
$200 bottle.
That's where the restaurants make their money. It's hardly off the
Yeah.
food.
It's
Other than
easily
maybe
off the
steak.
alcohol. It's
You
fucking
charge a lot for a steak at a restaurant.
make as much that the bottle's worth off of like 2 shots. There's 26 in the bitches in there.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody told me. One of my managers told me like that you try to pay off the bottle in a restaurant as a manager, right? Like somebody's looking at the
within
numbers.
first
Yeah,
five.
first 5 or first
Yeah.
4 shots or drinks. You want to have the bottle paid off, so everything after that is
It's
profit.
profit zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
Which
see
is a lot.
the cases of bottles and the fucking all the bottles on the wall. And it's like, god damn. There you
Well,
go.
yeah. I mean, it's like first 4 or 5 drinks, but how many shots are in that?
Yep.
Like a lot.
Mm.
Like 40, 30, maybe.
That's like a 80% markup to a degree.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's outrageous. And the same thing with like, I mean, because I think we can all agree, like, we all probably like our steaks a certain way, right? If you're getting a ribeye, you're getting a sirloin or whatever, we all like our steak a certain way. And we probably all feel like we could make our own steak better than the restaurant can, right?
Sometimes
Like I'd rather have my own steak, but it's not the same as having that steak handed out to you, cooked pretty much exactly how you want it as far as temperature wise. And you're not doing any work. You're sitting there relaxing. People are bringing you drinks. You're doing this. You're essentially at a restaurant. You're eating like a king.
Ambiance.
You know what I mean?
It's the experience.
Yeah. Which is why it sucks when you get a bad server.
Well, yeah.
Because that's the thing you're paying for, not just the
Also,
tip. That's the whole thing is going
on that
towards,
note, I think people need to check their expectations, or at the very least, meter their expectations. If you go into a Buffalo Wild Wings, don't expect your server to be great.
Yeah, if I go to a Hooters, I'm not expecting pretty much anything in a decent amount of time.
On the other side of that same token, if you're at Perry's, you have every willing right to be able to complain if your server sucks. Like, that is much too expensive for you to be like
that guy that gets the best server in there, and he's like, this guy's terrible.
I'm not arguing with the fucking deranged fucking customers that come in. What I'm saying is that, like, if you're spending a certain amount of money, then there is that availability for you to be like, all right, well, this probably should have been better.
I'm still gonna tip, and
oh yeah,
the weird
absolutely.
Thing is, it's like I can guarantee you, not that anybody that does this kind of thing really gives a crap about this, because most people that do wouldn't have done the complaint in the first place, but just tell the server, give him a tip, and just be like, bro, you could have done this a little better. You don't gotta ask the manager. You can just be like, hey, look, you're cool, but you could have done that. But also, still, here's your 18-20% tip.
Here's your 20%
because
tip,
probably
but
be
really,
like,
I want a
shit.
box.
Yeah, because it's like, shit, you don't have to just go get them fired. You know what I mean? Not that that's happened to me before, and I don't. Usually, it's not how it happens. But like, it's like, shit, you don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it was. Maybe it did get him fired. It's like,
on the other side of that token, I am a little bit like, whenever you think about it like that, is like, is it worse to complain about a server, even to them or to the manager or whatever, or not tip them? Because like, if you complain about them and it gets them fired, then it's like,
at least you got that tipping, $20, dude.
That's kind of where I'm at.
That'll pay your rent till
you find a new job. It's kind of better to not tip them than get somebody fired, no? Because I mean, that tip ain't gonna pay their fucking bill.
But you just tell them. Don't tell the manager.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And it's probably like, they might not have even known. Maybe they thought they were doing a good job, and then lo and behold, you're like, yeah, dude, you left our drinks. Like,
if you're doing a bad job.
I don't think always. I think there's some people that suck because they really suck at picking up on social cues. So they can't tell the table's mad at them because they don't have those social cues that other people.
There's also days where I'm just like not even in. I'm not locked in, and I just might wander off for a minute, and I come back and I'm like, oh, my bad. Most days I'm pretty locked in, but there's some days where I'm not like so locked in.
But even in those moments, you know that you fucked up. It's not like you're like, oh, how could this have happened? I didn't get a tip.
Oh yeah. Honestly, sometimes I am like, I'm like, damn. Honestly, I didn't give y'all as much love as it should have been, but they still tip me good. I'm like,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
we all have off days, you know.
Yeah, and
you're not 100% at every table every day.
A physicist is allowed to have an off day.
Pilots can't have off days.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if we can all have off days.
They can take naps and shit though.
But they get paid a lot more than we do. That's all I'm saying.
They can take naps. That's not an off day. They still land the goddamn aircraft.
Dude, imagine being a test pilot.
Imagine being the fucking dude on the fucking airfield.
Reverse engineered this UFO. Nobody wants to get in this. You got to try it out. You sign on for this shit. They're just like, no, that thing looks like a flying death trap. Like, yeah, but I own you. Get in the car.
This is for your country, soldier.
Nah, dude, those pilots, honestly, they're probably like, fucking hell yeah, they live for that, dude. But that would be crazy. Being a test pilot would be terrifying. They're like, yeah, we don't really know if it works. Dude, the demos we did with the little paper airplane version worked pretty well.
Imagine being the fucking dude in the airfield, like doing the air traffic control. Like, come on, please don't hit me.
Yeah, it's like, this is gonna suck. We don't even know if it takes off yet. We don't even know if it takes off. I'm just standing up here. Damn wands, my glow in the dark wands. Big ass.
You having
dildos.
fun with it type shit.
Like Hot Shots. Have you seen
You're having fun with it, and then that bitch explodes.
Hot Shots, the movie Hot Shots. It's like the first one is a parody of Top Gun. It's Charlie Sheen, It's so funny. It's so funny.
Imagine, like, yeah, you are like doing that, and the plane, driving the plane's like,
Yeah.
you're like, where do I go?
What they do in
in the
They're like, he's like, do
guy
I
has
go?
the things and he's like, and he just starts dancing. He's like doing like one.
Like, where do I?
So funny.
Where do you want me to land?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but seriously, imagine being the guy that's like, they're like, we reverse, like they bring you into a room, it's just an empty white room with just a desk,
How's
like
it
a
gonna be
guy
white?
sitting there at the desk. So you can see.
schematics.
If it was just a pitch black room, you probably couldn't see shit, Daniel.
That's racist.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Shut up.
Yeah.
But you're just in this room. There's nothing in there, and it's just like there's just this desk and a guy sitting at it, and a Men in Black bodyguard. They're like, we reverse engineered a UFO. You're like, what? That's insane. This is amazing. I didn't even know that it was real. You're saying they're real? And they're like, yeah, we want you to fly it and be the first one. We have no idea if it works at all.
or
What does it
imagine
run off
being-
of? A nuclear bomb powers the entire aircraft. And you're just like, word, y'all get in.
Dude,
It's
Is
like-
it just full blasted, or does it have like a throttle, or like you got to
You know,
put it in
there's-
third?
How
How does
people
that
live for that shit? They're like,
No, that's what most of it. I think the test pilots definitely live for that shit.
Imagine being the test pilot for the first helicopter. Imagine being
Oh,
the test.
fuck that.
It's like, hey, so you've heard of airplanes, right? Now imagine one with no wings.
wait, what are you talking about?
The first helicopter being a
Oh,
test
being
pilot
that
for that
guy.
shit. Imagine one with no wings. The thing that makes it go is on top of it, and it's gonna push down with a propeller-like thing, like a.
Yeah.
It's like
It'll be a
ima-
fan, and then you can turn it with another fan.
You know a box fan, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna fly one.
Imagine
Yeah.
being the test pilot for the Hindenburg or Heidenberg.
Oh, the fucking.
is that?
That's the
Heisenberg or
Yeah, the what was it
Hindenburg?
called? I don't think it was called either one of those.
Hindenburg. It's like
Heisenberg is-
no, HIDENBURG.
It was the first fucking hot air balloon, not hot air balloon, fucking
Oh,
blimp.
Wasn't
a
the
Zeppelin.
first.
Like
It wasn't the first.
It was
I thought
a,
it was
it
the
was
first
Zeppelin.
blimp.
I don't think it was the first.
a
one.
blimp is a Zeppelin. Isn't that the two different words for the same thing?
Led Zeppelin,
Yeah,
the band.
that is a band.
So I don't think they're a blimp.
Yeah, you know they got that name because he was like, this band is gonna crash like a Led Zeppelin. 'Cause they thought-
Really?
Yeah. like it, it just.
You thought it was gonna flop?
Yeah.
Literally, it was just- it was
He
one of
said
the
this band
biggest
is gonna
blimps.
crash like a Led Zeppelin.
One of the bigger ones.
One of the biggest ones, I think. Yeah, but it crashed and exploded. And 35 people.
That's fucking metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's
imagine being the
brutal.
person like, "Hey, dude, you drive that?" They're probably, "Hell yeah!" There's a g-
Oh, like a helium.
yeah, like the blimp.
And
all
it's
the
super
blimps.
flammable.
Yeah.
So they're just like, get in this. What is it? Flammable.
What? Anybody got a cigarette?
Yeah, but what is it? Like, no, that's like just 80% flammable. Then it's like, yeah, there's the other 20% is just cardboard. But it won't catch on fire. You'll be fine.
And if it does, you will come hurtling towards the earth. But
Yeah. Or a hot air balloon. Just like,
dude, hot air balloons are
'cause
cool
people
though.
can control those, but not
Yeah,
really that well.
Not really. No.
Not really that well.
I've never would want to get in one
Fuck
really
no.
because you always see
Seems
so
like
many
a
people
one-way street.
just like like. Have y'all seen Joe Dirt?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Where he's just like stuck in one
Yeah,
forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, how do you? What do they do? Well, I guess you have the nozzle that controls the amount of hot air going into it.
Yeah,
right?
you
And
feel
then
like
like
a-
the sandbags, right? Is that or
Yeah,
is
but
that just to
how
go
would-
up?
I mean, the amount of like weight that's on the hot air balloon is not changing. So the sandbags, I think, are just
That's
like
I think
that.
it's just to go up.
Yeah.
I think that just waits you to stay like
Yeah,
like
so when you
land,
turn
like
the
get
hot
everybody
air down,
in.
that will start to actually weigh it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. I would never
Yeah,
get
But
one
you
of
wouldn't
those.
want to turn
It's
it
like an
off.
anchor.
Yeah, I would never. That was a
No.
big thing in the 1900s. People were like, you want to go on a hot air balloon ride? What all the rich people did. It's like
Seems like a
fucking
romantic
no.
thing in your mind, but then it's like when you're up here, you're like, all right, well, how do we get down?
What are you gonna do? You gonna smash in a hot air balloon? Fall off the side? That would
Yeah,
be
dude.
a great way to die.
My
though.
first wife, I loved her, but she fell off the side of a hot air balloon.
If you're
They say I fuck too hard.
if you're just mid sex in a hot air balloon and you fall off the side, are you gonna try to put your pants back on before you hit the ground? Or are you just
No,
gonna
dude.
like let it go? Would you rather hit the ground with your pants off or on?
It depends.
Well, I mean, one.
Am
So
I
Does it?
surviving? Am I
Does it
surviving?
depend?
No,
I
I
might
put-
try to take my pants off if I wasn't, and I fell
No, I
off.
leave them around my ankles just in case there was questions like, "Why did she fall over the side?" You're like, like,
well,
like you
Wait,
pushed
wait,
her.
wait. Okay, I think I misunderstood the question. Are you saying the person falling out
Yes.
of the airplane? Okay,
Yeah.
you're talking about the person
No, I'm
that's still
saying,
in
I'm
the
saying
hot
you're
air
midair
balloon. Like,
falling.
well,
You're falling. Do you
well,
try
my
to put your
alibi
pants
doesn't
back
match up if I pull my pants up. I can't just say that I was fucking.
Oh, if I fell out of there with I have my pants down and I fall out of the
Yeah,
side.
do you try to put it back on before
No,
you
I'm-
hit the ground?
I'm just, you know what I'm saying, with your
like an eagle.
pants around your ankles, just like I'm squirrel diving.
Like F is for family, this airplane.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your pants down.
Yeah, there's no point
Like
trying
an
to pull
eagle
'em up.
swoops in and bites your dick.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
That,
That's funny. Like an
you know, like that
eagle.
whistle that.
Yeah, no, I would definitely keep 'em
America.
around my ankles. I'd keep 'em around my ankles.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Come on.
Why would you try to pull them up though? You know what I'm saying?
Just for your
what?
dignity when you hit the ground.
Ah, fuck that, dude.
I don't know.
I don't
if
know.
you-
Maybe you turn into paste. I have no idea how that works.
I'm not gonna like. What are they gonna be like if I pull my pants up? Like, dude, that's a nice cock. That was definitely Daniel's. Fuck no, dude. Might as well
That's
just
just in your
free ball.
mind.
I'm free balling all the way down.
They,
motherfucker.
they call your mom. They call your mom. They're like, "Ma'am, we would normally need you to come in and identify the body, but we know who this is."
We definitely know who this is.
No, definitely.
The corner's
pants around
just
the
like
ankle-
"Hmm,
pants around
impressive."
the ankles is definitely the move because you want to give the paramedics something to laugh about whenever they get to the scene.
I'm pants around the ankles, and I'm like, then I'm gonna like, I'm going, and then I'm gonna come in and just.
Ideally, your pants around the ankles, but then you land in the ground like head first, so you're like sticking out the ground. And it's just
think
like
you
dick
explode.
I
upside
think I
down.
could land on Scarlett Johansson.
It depends
from
on the maybe sand, maybe deep enough quicksand or something.
I think you're exploding, bro. I think your body's.
here. Yeah, somebody's gonna explode.
Curse supply.
Oh.
When you say
And then
explode,
it
do you mean like
exploded all over
combustion, or do you
himself.
mean like
He combusted
he
at
came
a
busted all over
velocity of
himself?
50 miles an hour.
So you kombucha.
What? Like how
Body
you
was-
knocked that over and just exposed Garfield, just chilling this.
It just
Yeah, there's
That's like-
actually a Garfield there. Little did you know.
Isn't that funny? It's like a secret, like.
secret prop.
Right.
Like,
There's
oh,
also
shit.
what is it, Moby Dick over here?
Turtle.
Moby Dick and Great Expectations, dude.
Yep, gotta love Great Expectations.
The paperweight. I mean, it's too heavy
Destroy
for
the
that.
box.
That's wild.
Fuck yeah,
Hot air
dude.
balloons. Free falling.
I mean, honestly though, that would be the vibe. Because if you were in a hot air balloon and you were fucking, it would definitely be better to be the person that fell out than the person that didn't.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're like,
Imagine-
where did he go?
Imagine having sex with he.
Or she, whatever. Well, I mean, I was
Sir?
picturing myself as the one falling, so you
Right,
know,
right,
I'm only
right,
putting
right,
myself
right,
in
right,
their
right,
shoes.
right.
Yeah. Like,
Right, right,
like,
right,
where
right,
did he
right.
go? What happened? You
Facts.
pushed him off, didn't you?
Facts.
You wanted that life insurance, huh?
You want to kiss, dude? Call your closer.
Oh man, wow! Only if I get to do it out of a hot air balloon.
He wants to fuck, bro.
I think I might steal this. Just have to not be a prop on the. on
You
the-
don't need
Steal
it.
this like
You
this
don't
is
need
his,
it anymore.
This
You
is your house.
Yeah,
You're gonna steal
you have-
something from
yeah.
your house. Is
Yeah,
that
from the
it's not
prop.
considered stealing?
I should be able to take that.
I actually got that from a thrift store.
Oh, so you're gonna steal your
Nice.
possession? That's really good.
Drifting kisses. It doesn't really sound appealing.
Depends
Magic.
on your situation.
When you put it like that, it sounds like I went to the thrift store. I was like,
Anybody?
yeah, dude, he couldn't afford
Sorry,
regular
yeah, he
kisses,
couldn't
so
afford.
he picked.
Yeah, he.
So are
he
you gonna
went
buy
thrifting.
anything?
Hey, you wanna go to fucking
Are you gonna buy anything? This is a establishment of business.
You guys ever been on a thrifting like date before? Like, you want to go thrift with me? You gonna go thrifting
with each other, maybe, but that's about
I've-
it.
I've been on a date to Barnes and Nobles before.
Yes,
Wow, classy.
Same.
Says
worked.
like, yeah, definitely says you're like, knowledgeable, classy.
I feel like it
like to
doesn't
read.
work. I
I
think
have
it
a
You
works,
enjoy,
but
you enjoy colorful coffees. You know,
I think it doesn't work at all. I think we think it works as men, but we're just stupid. It's like
Barnes
the
and Noble date?
Yes.
I've never
I
done
was-
that before.
He liked me and dated me after that, so.
That doesn't mean it worked.
Is it Shelby? Are we talking about Shelby?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't
This
imagine
is where I'm
Shelby
at.
going
This is
for
like-
the Starbucks date.
It seems
Or
like
the-
a good date.
We
sorry,
got coffee.
the
It
Barnes and Noble
was though.
date.
We went to Starbucks,
And then
chatted, and got coffee. Then we went
you all
to
just
look
read
at
in
books.
silence.
No,
No.
we
That's a
talked
good
about
date.
books we liked, and we walked around, and it's like
You were like Great Expectations.
Played with the Thomas the Train set.
I was like,
She's like,
you ever read this one? It's Doctor Seuss. Yeah,
she's like, I really
I
like
read
Carl
Shakespeare.
Young and stuff. And Daniel's like, I just fuck with the train set. I'm
Oh
not
wow,
even gonna
you
lie.
know the most popular psychologist you really know books.
I know Carl.
Yeah, I
he was
wouldn't
in
date
here
her
playing
either.
with the
That's
trains
dumb.
last week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know Carl Young. This guy just throwing out fame. Yeah, dude, I was listening to Alan Watts the other day, looking at motherfucker. Dude.
Well, I think Freud is definitely the more popular of the two.
Oh yeah, I was reading Nietzsche the other day. Fuck off. dude.
I can't read.
It's called Joan, dude.
It's Jung.
Honestly, could you imagine like a fucking like two people like, oh yeah, did you read that new Freud book? Nah, I was actually finishing up my Nietzsche the other day. It's just like you're like, yeah, honestly, I'm past that. I'm on to Carl Jung now.
They're just like, no, dude, he's just.
Do you
too
think that there were people
mainstream."
whenever like there's these like quote unquote mainstream writers were actually?
Psychologist.
Do you think that there were people?
I mean,
Mainstream
imagine-
psychologist.
It's probably like that for all of it, isn't there? Like, do you think physicists are like, nah, dude, that guy's basic?
Nah, dude, Stephen
That's what I was
Hawking's
about to
way
say.
too basic,
Exactly.
bro.
That's what I'm
Do you
saying.
think whenever these like Nietzsche and Carl Jung were writing their books that there were people like, nah, dude, I try to stay away from the mainstream stuff. Have you heard of fucking Philip Downstream? It's like, this guy's got
Philip Downstream?
this guy's got some
That's
ideas.
not where I thought it was going.
This guy's got some ideas. He's out of fucking the southern quadrant.
I want to know where Daniel thought it was going. What did you think it was down? What did you think?
Like, you know how people try to like say like I like the underground artists. I don't like the mainstream shit.
It is like that scene in fucking Good Will Hunting. He's like, rather elementary. It's like, fuck off. Yeah, nah, but it was just me showing her up, being like, oh, dude, yeah, you still read that? I'm on this one,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm on Nietzsche. Get outta here.
Nietzsche.
Yeah, dude, you haven't read Moby Dick yet? Get out
Oh
of
my
here.
god, I'll never read
I
that
would
book
never
in my
read that.
life.
I would never read
Never
it.
in my fucking life.
But
Good god. I
did
don't
you
even
just say
have.
The Great Expectations? I have that book right here, you fucker.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, you hipster. Yeah,
Yeah, I do have Great Expectations.
yeah, like the most mainstream.
Hey, I
of
do have some,
classic literature.
fuck, what's the one? I do have some Bukowski, though.
Charles.
I do have some
yeah, you
Bukowski in the house.
looking
I
ass.
do
Yeah,
have some,
fuck you, dude.
It's not to look cool. I just have Bukowski. Fuck you. It was a good book.
You've
though.
never read
It's
it, though,
Women.
huh?
It's Women by Charles Bukowski. I didn't read.
Oh, okay. What's it called?
He didn't
Women.
read it.
That's why did you pick that up?
It was actually gifted to me by a woman.
I
Yeah,
bet
I
it
bet.
was. You needed that.
Yeah.
That kind of
says
don't know what the
something.
book is
A
about.
girl got you that book and was like, you know what I'm gonna get.
what the book is about. We're like, yeah, sure.
Do y'all know
A
what the
girl
book
was
is?
like,
No, I'm
I'm
saying,
gonna
do y'all
get
know what the
Daniel
book is
this
about?
because
The book
I
is
think he
about-
really needs to read.
Well, if that's the case, they're saying I'm a huge piece of shit.
That's
You
what
should
we're
read
saying.
it.
That's what we're saying.
Y'all should
currently.
read it. You remind me exactly of the main character who's an alcoholic and treats women like shit. Here, read this.
Who bought it for you?
I thought you would really enjoy this.
It was a gift. Didn't buy it for. They had it and they liked it.
Who got it for you?
Who gave it to you as a gift? Who said that Daniel really needs this?
You don't
in
have
his
to
life
tell us,
right
but
now?
I honestly don't remember.
And that's pretty fucked up. Somebody gave you a book and they're
It was like a
spitting image
handful of
thinking,
books, so they were just giving away. It wasn't like they were like.
This is for
I
you.
can't remember.
That's pretty
Yeah.
brutal.
I thought of you whenever I was reading this.
I think I got great
Yeah.
expectations at that same point in time. It was like just
Just classic literature.
it was probably a bunch of books.
Classic
Yeah,
literature all the
they
way
were probably a
around.
bunch of books. They were like, yeah,
You could
You could
this.
use this.
yeah, classic
Why don't
literature.
you give this a read? Think about
But I
it
actually-
a little bit.
No, it's fucking sucks, dude, because I have a lot of books I have read, and every time, like, not recently, because I'm on my book shelf is in my room, but when I used to have books, like, out, and people were like, oh, shit, you read? Like, it's just basically, oh, shit, you're not fucking stupid?
No, I think what that is that it's that person doesn't read.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, you do. It's not like that they think that you're
It's not common
not
for people to
supposed
read all the time now. That's not
that.
common.
That's
I
true,
had
but,
to
like,
I had to pick it up and like kind of like force myself to do it a little bit until I started enjoying it again because it
I
was
think
like
in the-
it's weird because in school you don't really enjoy it because they're making you do it.
It's
And
forced,
then you
yeah.
find a book that you like, the type of book you like, you know.
I loved reading.
And all of a sudden you learn to have fun with it again, and it's like,
I think
wow,
the
I wish I
reaction-
would have felt this way about it when I was younger.
Yeah.
I loved
Which is
reading as a
unfortunate.
kid.
That's like
Yeah.
really unfortunate.
But I think the reaction you're getting from that, whenever you're like, when people that say that, you're like, oh wait, well, what? I'm not stupid. I think that the real reaction is they're telling themselves like, fuck, I am stupid. This guy reads
about
and I
that.
don't. Not exactly, but like I think that's what that is. Like whenever somebody's like, oh, you read, it's more so like, oh, maybe I should.
No, dude, you say that, but I had a girl one time, which it was Savannah. I'm calling you out. I don't care. And then like I was like, yeah, she laughed and was like, I don't know. I just never imagined you'd be a person who would read.
All right, well, that's an insult.
Yeah, I was like,
That's fine though. That should make you feel good in a way. It's like, all right, well, I actually do. So I don't know. I don't look at. I don't look at it like that. I
read
would
more
rather
than
look
she
at
did.
it. Be like,
I get what you're saying.
be like, yeah. Well, I actually do. So I'm glad I surprised.
I read
you,
more than
you
she
know?
did.
I
for
get what
sure.
you're saying, but I think it's the perception of like, what am I doing that makes you think I'm not
Yeah,
a
but fuck
person
that.
that reads?
Yeah, but fuck that
Not-
thought process.
Yeah, no,
fuck that
you're right.
thought process.
I get it though. I understand now for sure why people would think I don't.
I mean,
I'm
I
fucking
don't.
a
There's
head ass.
nothing that tells a person other than like their, I guess, mental capacity that you do or don't read. Like you could be fucking reading magazines and tell yourself that you're reading.
I read a
I've
book
had
a
peop-
day.
Jesus Christ.
That was y'all remember that guy that was like,
Oh,
the more you
fucking,
learn, the more you earn.
the dude that you made fun of.
He's like, I have 5 Ferraris.
Yeah, I fucking can't.
What's his
I
name?
can't
I
remember.
can't
I
remember.
still never
I
watched
don't
that
have-
video,
You
but
never
I've-
see his stuff anymore,
made
so I
fun of
guess
him.
Knowledge. That's where that's from.
Knowledge.
That's where that's from. That's the that's the OG
the
knowledge,
more you
motherfucker.
learn, the more
The
you
more you
earn.
earn.
Something.
That's the original knowledge.
I read
fucker
a book a day.
He had a Hispanic name. No, it was like something.
No, really though,
can't
my
remember his
friend's
name.
mom actually has read
Ty
80
Lopez.
books this year.
Oh, you did.
Ty
It was-
Lopez,
It was
that's
Ty
what it
Lopez,
was.
good.
80 books this year. She's read 80 books this
Your
year.
mom?
No, Keegan's mom.
Oh.
That's really
Actually,
good.
Yeah.
That's actually
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, she like.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot. But
What? Hold up.
she's
Wait,
extremely
almost a
intelligent.
book
She's
every 3
extremely
days,
intelligent,
or
though.
4
Her
days.
reading
Yeah.
speed is probably
I
like
was gonna say that's 2 books
really
a
up
week,
there.
roughly, like a book
Yeah.
and a half a week.
It's like a book and a half
yeah,
a week.
probably some of the books she probably read faster than that, and then other ones probably took longer than a week, 2 weeks, whatever.
But still,
she's
80 in a year is
constantly-
crazy,
and she
yeah.
probably retains information. Like she's very smart. She probably retains information very quickly.
See, when I read, I have to reread the pages now because my attention span's shit. And then, honestly, I'm really shitty with details. I remember, like, general.
I'm
No,
not.
I don't think that's uncommon. I think that's probably like most people.
I think
take,
for me,
like, the
I
greatest- When I was
without
younger, I
having
could-
having a true diagnosis, I think that there is a portion of me, and I don't really care about saying this, but I don't think that many people would be willing to admit. I think a portion of me is like minorly dyslexic to a degree. I think
I'm dyslexic.
whenever I am reading something, I do have to reread it because there's portions where I'll either lose like my spot or read a word wrong or put words in different like in order and the sentence won't make sense, so I'll have to reread it. It's like, oh, that's where I fucked up type shit. It's like I think a portion of me is like minorly dyslexic, and it has hindered my not ability but like desire to learn type shit.
Yeah, I was so I'm dyslexic, so I grew up having to do like classes to do the reading thing or whatever. But once I had it down, I was faster than anybody else at reading. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't really know how that I don't know how that really works, but it was the same thing for math. Like I was really slow going at math, but once I figured out how to do it, I was the fastest person doing it.
Mm.
It
You were
just took me
feeling
longer
downriver.
to
Downstream.
Wow. Wow.
He tried.
Wow.
Same shit, dude. Fuck
Is
you.
it? Is a river and a stream the same thing? We can have that conversation. A taco and a hot dog. I mean, I don't know which which category
If
you're
it's a
putting
strong
things
stream,
in.
it's a river. If it's a weak stream,
It's
you're
a
saying-
stream.
If it's a strong stream, it's a river. If it's a weak stream, it's a stream. Is that what you said?
Well, I
Either
just
way,
want
it's
to know
a
where he was
stream.
going with it because I'm like, there's
don't
a
quote
river.
me because I ain't said shit.
Yeah, quote Philip downstream. But
Yeah, but the dyslexic kid could read regular kid.
No, I mean, well, I don't know.
is that a joke? I don't know where you're going with that either.
No, really. I mean,
He could, yeah.
I really do hate math though. That's the one thing that's like it's like Japanese.
That's the thing that comes easiest to me. It's like I don't like it, but if they throw a problem
What?
at me, it's simple math.
Geometry was easy. I can look at geometry problems and solve them without like touching the paper or pencil or anything. I just look at it and figure it out. Algebra and chemistry is Japanese to me.
Those
Like,
are my
it is
favorite
straight up
subjects.
a foreign language.
Unfortunately, for me.
Algebra and what?
Algebra and
Chemistry.
chemistry. Just
I could do those.
not.
Those are my shits.
Dude, those were not hard. It's when I got to calculus, I was fucked.
Calculus sucked.
I was
dick.
fucked. Calculus, that's when I was like,
Yeah, I stopped trying.
you
at
lost
that
me.
point.
I'm good. I'm done. All the other shit, I was like, dude, I could kill, but
See, because, I mean, I took collegiate math, too. That shit was easy. It was basically just algebra the whole time with a little bit of pre-cal, nothing major. But, I mean, for the majority of my math learning experience, it was very much, like, all came very easy to me. If it was a formula I missed, then obviously it was a little bit more difficult to, like, pass a test or something. But whenever you comes to like numbers and shit that I actually have to deal with in like real world shit, like the word problem shit that we have to deal with in today's, like how many apples can I fucking afford type shit,
What
like
is-
all that shit is very simple
What is
for me.
what is a practical use of calculus? Because I genuinely asking. I
I
didn't
think like
take
computer
calculus.
systems and shit like
Predictions
that.
and stuff.
So
That's true. That's
statistics?
like
So
algorithms and
statistics
shit.
would be calculus based.
It uses calculus, yeah,
Okay.
a lot of it, some of it.
Yeah, like algorithms are all pretty much derived.
So that's so when you're doing calculus, you're starting to get into things that like this is practical. I could make money off this, or I could have a career
Correct.
based off of.
It depends on the application, but yes.
Okay.
Like systems, especially now, like before maybe not, but like it's very much computer shit. That's what calculus is.
Yeah, I don't really know how calculus works. Like,
Again, I don't either because I stopped really paying attention pre-cal and definitely didn't pay
Like,
attention in
But
calculus.
he is right. It's like predictions.
It's
like-
trying to like formulate calculations for what thing like how to predict something. Like businesses would use a
yeah.
lot of calculus for how their next quarter should
But like
look
that's
and
even
stuff
like
that.
yeah, like rockets and shit like that. Like basically, like okay, like if statistically it is
Trajectory and
yeah,
stuff like that.
it would
trajectory
be statistics, right? Or,
and
and then
trajectory.
eventually,
Yeah.
I guess you would get into physics after calculus.
It's likely an
They work
amalgamation.
hand in
Because
hand.
you want to know, like, if you're trying to get a rocket to the moon,
What
then
the,
you want
like,
to know
Realistic
the
aspect
variations
of that.
what could happen and what's most likely going to happen and how you can adjust to those variables.
Yeah, so you're basically looking at like the perspective of like what you potentially could do, and then physics would be the reality of what your capabilities would be.
Or the
realm.
application of what those
Yeah.
calculations
We should
are.
have somebody on that does that stuff.
I can get some people
Let's
on.
get Mr. Gleby in this bitch, dude.
What?
I weren't no not you fucking Kuzi and Hicks just had a dinner with Mr. Gleby the other day.
Let's get him on here, please.
Oh, we
If he
can.
would be down, I don't
I'm
know
sure
if he
wouldn't
would,
be
but that would.
against it. That's one of those that I think we probably should not do in the apartment day.
That's-
I mean,
You know,
Keegan did a
there's
lot
certain-
of Keegan did a
there's
lot
certain
of. I don't know if it
guests-
was calculus. It was definitely some advanced geometry.
yeah, but
Yeah,
Mr.
with
Mr. Gleby was like our
explosives.
physics NAP
I mean,
physics teacher.
The homie Alec, once we get him
Keegan
on,
was
I just
physically
gotta get his
exploding
schedule,
things.
but he's like very into STEM and engineering. He definitely had to go through all that
Yeah, if he's
calculus
done,
shit.
if he, you know,
He's definitely had to deal with all that shit. I don't know if that's what he specializes in, but he knows that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely down to get people that are like smarticles.
That would
and
be
shit.
really cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
people that aren't stupid like us, dude.
I have a
I'm
friend
not
that's
gonna
like in
I'm
school
not
to be
gonna
a
claim to be.
neurologist or I don't. I mean, something like that.
Yeah, they go.
I'm not gonna claim to be stupid, but I am.
She was like brain chemistry and stuff.
I'm not gonna claim to be stupid, but I am willing to admit that I don't know everything about everything, and there are people that do
I
know
hope so.
everything about some things. Well, that's not
As
what
if
I'm-
you were.
Fuck you. But there are people that know everything about some things, and to be able to talk to those people about those some things and be able to learn everything about that thing, then that's I feel like a benefit to society.
You know what
I
I've
mean?
decided is like I'm not good. I'm not like super smart at anything, but I'm really good with people when it comes
Yeah.
down to it. Like I'm not like the person who's the most outgoing to talk to people, but I'm the
Communication's a
person
skill.
who's like genuinely like if someone wants to talk, I am really good at that.
Yeah, same.
Really good at connecting with people and like
good
holding
listener
that connection.
and good communicator.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm good at. That's my skill set. And I'm also really good at like I would say like discussing just I guess I would go with communication. Like any topic really.
But even in
Or, like-
in that same like note, you're also a professional server who can talk to pretty much anybody about
That's
the
what makes
service
us good
industry.
at it.
Well, no. What I'm trying to say is that while you're saying that that's what you're best at, you also have experience in these other things that while you're not saying like I'm the thing that I'm best at in my life is serving tables, it's like you still are an expert at serving tables.
Yeah.
At the same time. So that's kind of where I was at, is like there's these things that we write off that we have skills in and knowledge about and all these things that aren't exactly what we want to attach ourselves to, but you do have that experience of serving people on a daily basis, multiple different types of people, multiple different seasons and holidays and all these different situations of whether you're having a good day or a bad day, whether you're experiencing some family trauma or having a relationship fall through or having the most happiest times in your life and you have to go back to fucking work. There's these things that you become an expert in just by having the job that you've had type shit that people write off every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, it is one of we're capable of way more, and we are better at way more than we give for. I think it's hard too because a lot of people don't even take the time to hone in what they're good at because caught up in whatever. And honestly, it takes a lot of brain work. Like just like my day to day at this point is just like fucking
Being fried.
like my brain because like I'm like damn, I have all this stuff to do. It's hard for me to like kind of.
It has to get
take
done
care
though.
of
You know.
It does, yeah. I gotta figure out
If
a way
you
to do it.
if you had
Luckily, I have a lot of people who around me who care about things.
Yeah.
That helps me a lot.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's
that-
not
yeah,
all
yeah.
like if it was all
It's a
relying on
motivator.
me, I would not do it.
Right.
I'll give that up right now. Like I'll say that straight up. Like the people around me help me out, fuel me. Yeah.
If you had to say anything to anyone that has a hard time getting up and just doing things, what would you tell them?
It doesn't get easier.
It doesn't. Yeah. No,
it's
it's
gonna always be hard, but you have to make the decision that hard is what you want.
So you'd say you have to just consciously every day wake up and be like, I don't want to, but I will. Yeah, but
Who's
that's
gonna
I mean
carry
that would
the
be a base way of
force?
putting it. I mean more like what could you say to someone that's had a hard time just not being able to do that every day and it just hasn't
give some-
changed. They need to make some type of change.
I'll give
Other
some
than
general-
just you just gotta do it.
No.
You know,
I mean,
other
the
than
idea,
that, what would you tell somebody?
I mean, the idea is more centered around like it's not you just got to do it. The idea is that if this is what you want to do, then that is a decision, and that decision comes with consequences, and you have to be willing to accept the consequences of the decisions that you're making. If you are waking up every day and having struggles of finding the motivation, then that is in its own way a decision that you're reaping the consequences.
people
of.
that don't know what they want to do. Like they're
This
just
is
like
where
they
I'm at.
wake up, they go bartend or like they go
Some
do
general
whatever.
advice would be there's been moments where like it took me a long time. It took me a really long time. But I knew so like I was a person I mean not everyone's gonna relate to this exact situation, but just like a scenario here. So like I was a person who was really good in school. I got good grades. My intention was to go to college, graduate, classic, right? Went to college, I fucking hated it, did not want to do that. Went into serving, right? And as it goes, and second
Fall
serving.
into it.
Yeah. Which I mean, I enjoyed it for a long time.
Mhm.
I enjoyed
Yeah,
a lot of
definitely, me
aspects of it.
too, for sure.
The social aspects of it, it was easy, it was good money. But also it's there are a lot of people who want purpose in life. I think that's a thing nowadays, like a lot of people
Are looking for
looking for or struggle for is like everyone feels like they need a purpose. The thing is, in my opinion, the purpose of life is just to do the things, to find joys that you want. Like life is about experience. in my opinion. Like experiencing life is the purpose of life in itself, and it's whatever that means, and it's experiencing to the fullest of your own capabilities, which may take different steps, and everyone has a different path. And it was a long one for me, and like even till recently, like podcasting was one of those things where I was like, I want to make connections with people. I want to eventually be able to make a change in people's lives. Like what am I good at? Cause that was the thing. It's like, what am I good at? What am I good at? Right? I constantly, like, I read a lot, and I would go out, and then I was like, oh, I'm good with like actually connecting with, like, genuinely connect. So I was like, okay, and that's how I ended up on podcasting. And then, I started going to raves and shit, and I was like, dude, I love music. Like, I fell into that. I was like, I love music, which this isn't the case for everybody. You don't have to always do something that you love. You can have hobbies.
Yeah.
Which
A lot
is
of
also
time your job is not your life; it's the means to the life that you want.
Yeah, and
You
I
don't
always
have to love
thought,
the job. You just gotta love where it puts your life.
Right.
and for a long time, I thought like my hobby needed to be like my job. Like
Yeah, it doesn't.
do what you love so that you can make money. And I still believe, like, yeah, if I can
That'd
make
be
money off of
great.
this stuff, it would be
That
awesome.
would be great.
But I would rather have a job. Like in my job, my goal right now is to get out of the restaurant industry, which I'm going to. But it's like having a job where I make a sufficient amount of money to support my hobbies, because of what we've talked about before, where I don't want my art to get diminished down because it is a job and I'm having to.
You don't want the I gotta pay the bills mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Sometimes the
then
thing you love can become something you hate because it became work rather than.
Right.
Exactly. And then there's also points where you're like, oh, do I have to do this certain thing in order to make this And I'd rather it just be a pure form of expression, a pure form of art, whether it's me throwing events, me throwing events and being able to curate lineups, or us doing a podcast, or like putting the two together. Like I'm planning on doing a community event. I want all those things to be something that's like pure of heart, like something I really want to do, and not something that
Have to do.
So like when you're looking for those things, it's just kind of not putting too much pressure on the fact that it's something you have to do. It's like everyone wants this purpose, or everyone wants this means to an end. Just experiencing things and finding those things along the way, I think.
And to go back to
So not putting so much pressure on yourself, or like being like, I have all these things to do. Just kind of like taking those things one step at a time, getting up and being like, what's the first thing I want to do? Like for me, meditation is one of those things, or the gym. It's like, let me at least get those out of the way, and then I'll have the rest of the day to figure it.
And if you're asking like
That's a good answer.
and if you're asking like a general sense for someone who doesn't know what they want.
Yeah, they wake up every day. They wake up and they're like, still don't know what I want out of life. I wake up and do the same thing, but it's not taking me anywhere. I don't have a passion, but I don't want to do this all the time.
But that sounds like a person. For me, it's hard to answer that without like having more context, because initially what that sounds like is the only answer for that type of person is change.
Yeah, that's what I was. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
Whether it's
like,
the
from my own
job, whether
question
it's
was like
location.
put yourself in different scenarios that you
Yeah.
would have never seen yourself in. Go to something that you. Sorry, my allergies. Go
No,
to
you're good.
something that you wouldn't see yourself doing, or
Mhm.
going to, or anything like that, and it might really change your perspective on things, and maybe change your thought process. Waking up the next day, going to bed the night before, you go do something different. You go to bed that night, and your mentality when you went to bed is different than the night before. That means your mentality waking up is probably gonna be at least a little bit different, And if
Yeah,
you keep
I mean,
doing
there's
stuff like that, like I remember the first time I went to an art gallery as a young adult, it was just different for me, because I was like, as a kid, I was like, I didn't really appreciate it. Like, I appreciated music, not like art, like painting and, visual aspects of art other than movies, but I mean like painting and photography and stuff like that. And I remember like the first time I went to an art gallery, and I watched that, and I did it for school. And I came home and I was just like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do the school thing. Like, there's like a lot out there that I haven't done, that I haven't experienced. And I think there might be some other stuff out there that I would like to at least try, like, and dip my toes in the water.
It takes a certain level of breaking the mold, because there's this idea that you have to be doing a certain thing for you to be successful. Now that idea is malleable depending on where you're from and how you live, whether it's going to college and becoming a doctor, or running the family business, or whatever it is. There's these molds that people are set into as children that you can probably exist in. But it's up to you that if that's not something that you want for yourself, you have to break out of.
Yeah, and or is it really that you want something more than that, or
It
or
more
is
so
there
becomes
other aspects of your life that you're actually not satisfied with, whether it be maybe in a relationship or a relationship with family members or a
It more so
relationship with a
becomes
coworker or
like-
boss or something like that's actually what you're not happy about. It's not your life.
Yeah.
It's the way you're dealing with your life. So
It's
it's like
your
you could
reaction.
totally be a 9 to 5er and just it's fine. Like whatever. You could be happy doing that. It's not that's making you upset. It's maybe some other aspects of your life that you're like, oh, my life just sucks. Look at my job. And it's like, well, why is that the first thing you went to?
Buddy,
You know?
your,
Like, there
your
might be
job-
a deeper, deeper concept there that you're not looking at.
Well, yes, but also it's like, I guess it comes back to like this old saying that I didn't really like it for like sales people type shit, and like your managers and shit would tell you. It's like, you want a life that you never had, you gotta do things that you never done. That's true. You do have to be able to do things that.
Situations.
That's true. I just
think
didn't
it all
like
goes
that they
back
were.
to that purpose thing.
I
It's
just
like-
didn't like that they were talking about go knock more fucking
But you
doors.
can't just
but
wake
my
up
point
one
is
day and
that-
be like, I need a purpose. I need a purpose. And then you have
No.
one. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, but it is a decision for you to want a purpose.
True.
and that-
That's a start, I guess you could say.
And that is that thing where it's like that start is honestly probably a lot more powerful than the journey
Well, that's
for a
true.
lot more
Yeah,
people.
you got to identify a problem at all
Well, I
to
would
be able
say
to
it's
fix a problem.
not as much as they want a purpose. It's just that lack of purpose and just that mundane rut of life. I think they really.
Yeah, but
people- it's not like they're like, I want a purpose. It's just like the lack of having one, the lack of having passion, and just basically just being in this life that you're watching like fly by and pass before you without you actually
and you
doing
can
anything.
find purpose
You're-
outside of work.
Yeah,
Your
but
work
I mean, not
doesn't
even just
have
work.
to be your hobby. Like I don't,
doesn't.
you know what I mean? Like
I
you
think
can
people
be happy
just-
without that. Like find
I think people
other
just feel like the
things
passenger.
you enjoy.
know?
Yeah,
Yes.
but find
They're
some
watching
things
their
that
own
make you
lives
feel like a main
pass by.
character.
Yes.
You know, like find things that make you feel like a main character.
But
you know?
I don't even know if I think it should be something between those. I don't think you should want to be the main character, and you definitely
Yeah, I
shouldn't
mean
feel like
more
a
the-
passenger. But it should be the situation where you feel like you are a part of your own story. And at the end of the day, a lot of people out there don't feel like they're a part of their own story. They either feel like they're watching from the sidelines or they're creating their main character shit. But even that is
I
a
think
unrealistic view of their reality type
I'm
shit.
gonna
So
go out on
I'm
a
sorry.
limb, and I'm gonna say I think maybe, and this is really going out there for some people, but I think that some of that is a lack of any type of spirituality.
oh yeah,
You know, and like
absolutely.
purpose on like some type of deeper level.
A lack of community, a lack
know?
of spirituality,
Yeah, both
a
of
lack
those.
of
I would
a
say
lack
those
of-
are maybe the two most important is community and
because
spirituality.
Because I mean, if you think about it, that's where a lot of people's purpose come from. It's either
I think
what
it's
you're
almost
able to
everybody.
do for other people, or what the spirit in the sky is telling you. It's like
or, you
most
know,
purpose derives from either community or spirituality, and from obviously maybe hunger and shit too, like that.
yeah,
you
but
gotta
those
eat.
are. I mean,
But-
Primal
somebody will
instincts,
kill.
yeah.
Primal
Somebody
instincts.
will murder someone to feed their hunger, but
That's
not
true.
everybody's gonna murder someone to feed their spirituality. Not
No,
everybody, but
but
everybody
at the-
almost will murder for hunger. You know.
But at the end of the day, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, but even that murder
mean,
for
Lord of
hunger,
the
that's
Flies, you know?
purpose. That's purpose driven by community.
Yeah.
You got to feed your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
some people who are happy just sitting at home or like gardening in the morning and then fucking
but what
having
is-
a cup of
That's
tea
what I'm
and
saying.
then
What is it
sitting
about
outside
them
and
that's
watching
cool with
the-
it? That other people are just like
The
I don't have any
comfortability with it.
passions, but I know this isn't it. And then those
It's
people
'cause
are like,
them
I don't have
knowing
any
that-
passions. I'm alright with it.
But the thing is, you say that, but like gardening and like
That
That
is
is
a
a
dipping
passion.
passion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's them finding love in the
And the
little
smaller
things,
things
in
that
life.
make them them. Not everybody has to be into gardening. It's not a big. Well, I mean, they see it as big, I guess.
the
But
point is that not everybody's going to be into everything.
you don't have to make money
but
from it either.
the problem is that people will talk themselves out of being into something. They'll say like, "Oh, I can't be into Pokemon cards. There's no room for that in my life." It's like, no, there's actually a huge community for that in your
Yeah,
city
or
that
like,
that would
I don't know
love to
anyone that's
welcome
into
you.
that. It's like
Right.
there's probably someone you know that's into it that doesn't talk about it.
Right.
You know?
And I mean, that can be expanded into multiple different topics, multiple different hobbies, multiple different belief systems, all these different things that you can build communities off of and build, to a degree, spiritualities off of if you're talking about like creating a religion. But to a degree, there's these things that drive purpose, and it doesn't have to be this like, well, I want a better job, or, well, I feel like I could be doing something more with my career. It could be as simple as, I should be bringing the fucking local food shelter a meal every week or something like that. It could be as simple as like wanting to give back to the city that gives to you type shit. It does not have to be any like personal like salvation of trying to save somebody or doing something to try to save yourself. It could be as simple as just trying.
I mean, we always say you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be fucking the
Community
biggest.
service, honestly, in today's society, gets shit on. It doesn't. And nobody likes community service. If you, it's a punishment
Actually,
by our legal
I have
system.
2 good friends that do it totally by choice, and they just.
Okay, I'm sorry,
But I get what you're
I don't mean to
saying.
generalize.
Yeah, I get what
but
you're
what I'm
saying,
saying
though. I get
is
what you're
it's
saying,
literally like a punishment by our legal system to pick up
Which is
trash
very
on the
str- yeah,
highways.
which is very strange.
That's how much people don't like it.
Well, I mean, it's just that. I mean, sure. I bet you there's a lot of people out there that would like to do it, but it's like it's just not in their free time. Like it's not like the little like I would love to do that, but in the little bit of free time I get, that's not my first choice. Even though I would like to do it, if I had an infinite amount of free time, I bet I would spend some of my time doing that.
But that's the inherent issue is that it concurrently is probably something that would make you feel better than anything you're currently.
I think
spending
that's
free
one of
time
the
on.
reasons they use
That's
it.
the issue.
I think that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
they use it for legal situations and stuff like that.
Well,
as legal-
yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's like a punishment. It's just that no one's gonna do it otherwise, so we might as well get you to do it for free. Not really like we're trying to. Yeah, how does that feel? You like having to pick up trash? Like
No,
like nobody's thinking about it like that. They're not like, oh no, the trash, the pain every time I pick up a piece of trash. You know, it's
Yeah,
not.
you get beat every
Yeah,
day.
you know, it's not like
yeah.
that. It's just that no one's gonna do it. You're free labor, so we're gonna make you do it.
We'd rather
You
get
know.
you to do this than pay somebody to do
Yep.
this. But I mean, the flip side of that is that if people were signing up to do community service every week, then you probably wouldn't need people to clean up.
Yeah,
the
I
highways
understand.
like
They
that.
don't have that free time, though. They might
Well,
want to. You know.
That's the thing is
Well, they
they
have the free
probably
time, but
do
yeah,
have
yeah.
the free
But
time,
that's
but,
not
but
their
Dancing with the
first
Stars
thing.
is
Yeah.
on Friday night, so it's like
Exactly.
so like
and we all
it-
love Dancing with the Stars.
I'm just saying, I think it's Derek's
Who's the new
year.
Masked Singer this season?
I'm just saying, I think it's Derek's
Oh,
year.
yeah. That's such a bizarre show too. Yeah,
No.
that's such a bizarre show too. The Masked Singer.
They need to stop it.
Yeah.
I think we've had enough of. Like, all right, who's watching that shit?
I've
Oh,
never
I'm
seen it. I've
That's
never
the
seen
other
it.
portion of this conversation is you'd be surprised like how many fucking people that like that we're talking about that don't have like purpose and don't know what to do. It's like all of them are watching that show.
Cletus and Velveeta in their trailer every third quarter.
Cletus and Velveeta. Holy. All right, well, let's wrap it up there. We're at 2:35. It's been a great episode. We went through it all. We've been through the ringer. We fucking tackled them. We beat them, dude. Fucking Philip downstream. We did it
Hell,
all.
man. Hey, man. You got to fill them up with that knowledge.
Hot air balloons, all the good stuff. We got a guest coming next week.
Who's on next week, Jack? No, not Jack.
Regan.
Keegan.
Regan. Yeah, Keegan will be on next week. That'll be fun. That'll be a
Fucking
good one.
Regan.
That'll be a good one.
As soon as I said it, I was like, why the fuck did I say that?
Who the fuck is Regan? All right.
Sounded wrong off the tongue. All right.
Fucking like, comment,
Keegan next
subscribe.
week.
All feedback is appreciated. Make sure you only hit up Daniel for that.
Yeah,
and,
Keegan next week. Got Keegan on the pod. It's gonna be good. It's a good friend of ours. Also, Cole's roommate and lover.
Yep. That's exactly
had to throw that out
it.
there.
That's exactly. I'm going to make sure he listens to this episode.
They're penis pals.
And our families, so they can finally
Yeah.
hear the truth.
Yeah, they're Pin Island
Finally hear the
fans.
truth that I know they've been wanting to hear for the longest time. We're dating.
Pin 15.
They love Pin 15. Yeah, but they do stay together. That's true. That's not a lie. But he'll be on next week to admit all that and more. So stay tuned to listen to that, you guys. It's been fine and dandy. Any last words from you guys other than Cole and Levin, Keegan?
You guys try not to eat any cock meat sandwiches this week.
Or do if you want to.
Up to you entirely. I'm not going to tell you how to eat or how to live or how to, run your diet. Stay out of Guantanamo. Get it popping in this bitch.
Shout out
Later,
my son,
dude.
Brian.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, Mom.
Your black son, Brian.
Yeah. Have a good one. Until next week. Later, you guys.